Again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Favorite time of the week, but not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews in your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly, fans, brews, and Broncos news. What's up, Broncos country, and welcome to the Broncos day one of the draft. We, of course, all watched, I'm sure you all did as well, watched the first round of the draft last night. David and I did a Twitter space, which was pretty fun. Got some cool people on there, but we are excited to sit here with you, all you guys, as we go through the second round of the draft up through the Broncos' first pick, whenever that might be, whether they trade up or if they stay at 64, if they trade back. David and I, we might have to have a discussion on if we stay on or not at that point.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Broncos actually picking tonight. It's always fun to watch the draft, even if you're not like super involved, because it's just, it's cool football drama, football theater, but it's always more fun when your team's actually picking.
Exactly. Hey, everyone, hit that share button for me. Of course, as you know, if you haven't been here before, we are very interactive. So throughout this whole thing, we want to hear what you guys think about the picks as they're happening. What do you think about some of yesterday's stuff? We'll get into that here in a minute before Tampa Bay goes on the clock. But looks like Ashton, how you doing? Neil, Tracy, Travis, Brad, glad you're all here. Yeah, Brad. Hey, I'm glad you called it out, man. That is the second time we've shown the new intro we have here. So we have the new outro as well. It's kind of sick, but
yeah, definitely.
Just get ready. Yeah, no, definitely. Glad you like it. Just wait for us to update the Russell Wilson throw part where it's a clip from a game. So,
right. Yeah.
But okay, let's dive into it. And everyone else who's watching, again, share your thoughts on what happened yesterday. But what were your overall impressions from what you saw yesterday, David?
Man, I'll tell you what, Kev. I hopped off the Twitter Spaces at exactly the wrong time because about 10 minutes after I left, things went nuts.
They did. It got crazy.
The top 10. And I think, it kind of tracked with what we heard about the draft, was that the top 10, not necessarily as far as deep as far as blue chip talent went this year, really, really high level prospects. But that 10 to 30 range was, guys with really, really similar grades. And that's where you really saw all those trades up, guys really going for the number one guy on their board. So I'll be really interested to see if that carries through in the second round too, Kev.
Yep. No, exactly. Shadow, how you doing from Mile High Roundtable? Good to see you there. Watching us over on YouTube. Guys, make sure you check out our YouTube channel as well. I'll pull up that link here for you. Give us a subscription, hit that like button wherever you're watching us. And remember, we do appreciate your feedback as well. So give us any kind of feedback on the show, anything you want to see in this upcoming year or anything like that. But you can go to that website right there, the YouTube link, and follow us on YouTube.
Love it. Please do, guys. Yeah, go ahead. We need those numbers up. We're going to pump those numbers up before the season, guys.
Right?
Absolutely. All right. So, Kev, what are you looking for the Broncos? I mean, are there any positions that you specifically expect them to target tonight? Are there any positions you want them to target tonight? What are you thinking?
So one thing that I'm looking for and interested to see is I think we're going to get a good idea on how much trust they have in Albert Okwuegbunam tonight. If, I think if we're sitting at 64, we can get a very decent, top tight end out of this draft. I think if we do that, we're kind of saying, maybe Alberto isn't ready to be that guy. He's a great, red zone pass catcher and whatnot, but is he ready to be the tight end for the Broncos? So I think you're looking right there. If we're sitting at 64, you could see us do something.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if they want Alberto to be the guy who does everything at the tight end position for them. I think he's willing to block for sure, but I think they would much rather have him out there running routes, just because I think that's what they see his asset to the team as being a little more.
Right.
I don't know. And the name, if we're talking tight end, the name that's going to come up is going to be Trey McBride from CSU, obviously. I don't think the Broncos are going to have a real shot at him at 64.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would love the process of moving up to get a tight end like that in this draft. I think he's the best one in this draft, but I think certainly no more than like 5 spots if you're going to do something like that. If he falls to like 55 or something and he's sitting there, I know that's like 10
maybe.
spots, but still, yeah, we'll see. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting point. I think you could definitely see them, maybe with one of their 3rd round picks to address that tight end position.
Awesome. I like it. Steve is here saying, I bet we go defense with our first pick. Now, I was maybe being a little too worried about our cornerback room a few days ago,
But
we only had 5, but we've signed 2 now?
Sure.
Or just the 1?
Well, so yesterday Woody Page, and take this tweet for what it is, but Woody Page tweeted that he predicted that the Broncos were going to move up and select somebody that they had a 1st round grade on in the 2nd round tonight. And the name that he specifically dropped was Auburn cornerback Roger McCreary. So that, that lines up at least with, if they see somebody as an elite talent, as somebody they still have with a 1st round grade, that's the scenario I could at least see them trading up for. And it may be, to your point, to Steve's point, a premier position on defense like corner or pass rusher.
Yeah. I think at this point, pass rusher is a little bit more, I guess, dicey. Well, we have enough players there, and we still got people like Cooper. I mean,
so you've got bodies there, but you've got Chubb, who can't, who hasn't stayed healthy yet.
Randy
Cooper,
Gregory is coming off a surgery
and a suspension. I think you put that probably the suspension stuff behind him, but still, you've got at best case scenario, then you've got healthy Randy Gregory for 16 games, and then what? You've got Bradley Chubb, who hasn't, when he's been healthy, hasn't really flashed that much recently. He, obviously he did early in his career, and it's way too soon to just write him off completely. But it would be nice to have more reserves and more kind of top talent there if you really want to have this defense take that step up, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe the training staff, maybe the coaching staff sees it a little differently, and they prioritize another position.
Let's see here. Tracy, I know what this blank comment means. It means you donated to us for giving us some stars. Tracy, appreciate your support. And anybody else just watching us, really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Again, hit that share button. We're going to be here up live through the Broncos pick. Let's see. Ashton saw that live, the Twitter live feed. Hope the team starts to build together and not so much individualized as it has since Super Bowl 50. So that's a good point. You can have top talent, in terms of players, but what are they doing in a team mindset? And I think what I really like from what we've seen with the, Coach Hackett and the people he's bringing in and the type of leader that Russell Wilson is, I think you're going to have that team mentality. And it's not so much based off of just, do we have, the top favorite guy out there or something.
Right. Well, and that, having Russell Wilson there just makes that so different. Because it's not you're trying to get a guy in who's never been that guy, who's trying to establish himself as that guy. Russell Wilson's already that guy. Like he is the leader of the locker room. He steps in and he leads, and that's what the quarterback's job. But it's not, he doesn't do that because it's the quarterback's job. He does it because Russell Wilson is a leader, if that makes sense. So I think that alone is really going to address some of those issues. I think it's going to be a very different mindset as opposed to what you've seen recently, where guys are just kind of trying to play for themselves because they know there's nowhere to go for the season. There's nowhere for the team to go, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Do you have any sense on this here, David, on if we've been looking at any Hawkeye players?
It's no, I don't have a sense on that one way or the other. I don't, just, from my limited experience in reading mock drafts this season, I can't think of any Iowa players that are touted very highly. In fact, the only player I know from the state of Iowa that's touted very highly, other than Trevor Penning, is the quarterback or the running back from Iowa State, Breece Hall, which I know is not what an Iowa fan wants to hear about. But yeah, I don't know about any Broncos players or any Broncos targets as far as Iowa Hawkeyes go. I haven't heard any connections in that vein, but we're getting underway here right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock, so we're going to find out.
Yep.
This is a good question from Shadow Jacker. If Chubb gets double-digit sacks this upcoming season, do you think Peyton renews his contract? I would have to say yeah. I don't know what you can expect as far as an offer for them. I don't know that you can necessarily, if you're Chubb, expect to get that premier, what the pass rushers have been getting, that $19 to $25 million range per season. He'll have had one double-digit sacks season in a row at that point. So, I think he will get a contract offer, and I think the Broncos will try to keep him if that happens. But I don't know if he's going to break the bank with that contract.
Gotcha. We do have somebody waiting in our green room, a very special individual. I'm waiting for the thumbs up if he's waiting for me to bring him on, or here we go. So, Mr. Jared, how's it going? Oh, I thought you were ready.
Jesus. No, I'm here. I'm sorry. I just
you have a shirt on though, so that's good.
Get your collar under control. You are 33 almost. All right. I do not want to see that pop collar bullshit.
Look, it's just a throwback to the high school days. I just need another one underneath, an orange one to do the pop collar, the double pop.
The two pop collars.
If we're really going back to high school, wouldn't you be wearing a Jaguars polo instead?
Low but accurate. Yeah.
Both you guys can go to hell. How you guys doing?
Want to make sure.
So good. Haven't talked to you since last night. Haven't seen your smiling face in.
Yes. Oh man, this is nice. Ever since you destroyed everybody in trivia, I think that was the last we saw.
Fond memories for me. Hey, Mr. Boggins, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, Mr. Boggins. Hey, Tracy. I actually was looking for one. You know what the weird part about this is, and David's gonna love this. I don't have a visor in here, but I do have multiple footballs.
Oh, God, that's amazing. Why don't you
I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Put one of those on. Why don't you just put one on tonight and see how it feels? That's all I'm saying. See how it feels.
It's currently 92 degrees outside, so I'm gonna say no for that one.
I feel like the AC, if you set that bad boy to 66, 65, you're in golden, baby. You got to see that. You know what I mean? Get going. All right, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Jared, what are your thoughts on the draft so far?
So I was looking at, just first round was absolutely nuts. The amount of trades, it got crazy. Usually it's crazy at the beginning. It got crazy mid-draft last night, and there's a couple cool things that are coming in now. This draft class doesn't really have any awesome superstars past the first couple guys that we talked about last night. But it is pretty deep as far as the talent level is pretty the same for the first 3 rounds I'd like to look at. And I think I might get my wish. Guys, we might draft an interior linebacker. We might draft a middle linebacker.
There is one name, Chad Muma from Wyoming, that got on the Broncos' top 30 visits. That is one to keep an eye on if he's there at 64. I still don't think so, but maybe. Jared, I think your chances have never been better. Let me put it to you that way.
I will drink to that. Look, Nakobe Dean's another one, the Georgia inside linebacker. I think he's another one that. Not a fan?
I think I'm a fan. I just think he's going to go kind of fast tonight.
Oh no, for sure. I just don't know. Well, and here's the other thing too, right? People, these GMs had a chance to sleep at night. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people jumping at the bits for some of these quarterbacks that didn't go last night, because I think there are some pretty decent quarterbacks, and
the fact that the quarterbacks fell, I think that's very good for the Broncos right now. I think you're totally right about that, and that 6 receivers went in the first round too. How many
quarterbacks do you think is going to go in the second?
I would say the rest of them.
I'd say 3. I'd say 3.
Willis, Ritter, Pickett already went. Corral. Yeah, good call. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think those 3.
Those are the 3 I think go, and I think they go in the second round too. I don't think they wait to the third. I think they all go second.
Yeah.
Well, the Buccaneers pick is in. We are waiting on that. Minnesota is going on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Live
all
update.
Right, so
live update.
Live update. I am trying to cruise on the Twitter, but it is not. Nobody's spoiled the pick as far as I can see as of yet. What do you got? So I think there was a lot of. What do you got? No, Logan Hall. There you go. All right, DT Logan Hall. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's they re-signed Ndamukong Suh, but I definitely think that rotational guy is going to be really important for them this year. So I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, 6'6", 283 pounds. Interior defensive lineman, played at Houston. Had a pretty good 2021.
What's his pass rush stats? Like, I mean, is he going to provide interior pass rush there?
13 tackles for loss and 6 sacks last year, and that was his most productive season. He is a senior, and
so
I think
he
was
as many sacks as Trayvon Walker last year. Is that what, the number 1 overall pick? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, yes, he did.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Good, good pickup for them, I think. And especially with that defense, Vita Vea, really, really talented guy, but not a pocket pusher so much as just a huge run stuffer, 2-gap controller kind of guy. So yeah, I think really good pickup for them. It's interesting that they did. There was some speculation that some teams might try to trade up to the first overall pick to get their quarterback in the second round, but. Somebody on Twitter made the point earlier today. If you were going to do that, why not just trade up into the bottom of the first round and get that 50?
Right.
I mean, I do think there is a level of like you trade into the first round against trading up in the second round. There's a kind of a misnomer there, and it really you're talking about 1 or 2 picks, but it really is a big deal when you look at the grand scheme of things.
True. And I'll tell you, last night even that was one theme of last night. The trades were cheap. I mean, relatively speaking, it was not. You were not seeing them pay exorbitant prices to go up, in the middle of the round. But you weren't seeing, premium draft picks next year. It was all lower round draft picks this year, and guys were able to just go up and get who they wanted.
Yeah, okay. I am so far behind. I'm just now getting the Bucks draft pick here.
Yeah, me too.
Let's do a little refresh.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know how. Mr. Boggins, you are quite ahead of
Boggins
us.
Boggins is in Las Vegas right now, guys. He's
Okay, all right. Yeah, there you go.
He's probably literally live, just like
watching.
The Vikings trade to the Packers.
Yep. Wow, Vikings trade in division to the Packers. Now, who do you guys think this is for? Is this for a wide receiver at last? Or do the Packers pick yet another defensive player?
Another defensive player because I love watching the downfall of Aaron Rodgers. Not the downfall of Aaron Rodgers, but just him getting so mad every single year. Like no assistance.
Right. And now I mean Devontae's gone now and you get nothing. You get nobody. Yeah. So it's interesting. Boggins, feel free if you want to Christian Watson. Let's see. I'll be honest, I don't even know who that is. Boggins, feel free to, if you've got a camera on your phone, feel free to hop on with us and be our man on the inside there.
That'd be cool.
I don't think he's actually in Vegas, guys. That was me joking.
Yeah, still, it doesn't matter. He's still
Bree's there. I know some of them are.
He definitely has more. And and he's always welcome. You're always welcome on the show, man. Shoot us a message if you want to.
North Dakota State wide receiver Christian Watson is the pick. Interesting. All right. So the Packers do trade up and pick a wide receiver.
They do pick a wide receiver.
I know almost nothing about this North Dakota State product. Anybody have any insight for me?
I will. Okay, here's what I got. Christian Watson, 6'4". He was a redshirt senior, so 5 years at the program. 6'4", 208. So pretty good height.
I'll say they have
4'3", 640.
Wow.
And he averaged 20 yards per reception over his career, and he's also a kickoff returner.
6'4", 208, and he's got 4.36.
4.36. Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
okay. That's legit. And that's one thing I've heard through this draft process when people have been referencing the Packers and wide receivers specifically is they have these specific size requirements because they have to be able to block. Like that's such an important part of their system. So yeah, I think he checks those boxes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the
All right,
Packers
well, that's
pick is
awesome.
in, so we'll see that here in a second.
We just
Probably from Boggins.
didn't we just talk about that?
Sorry,
That is Christian
Oh,
Walker.
so see, I'm
That's who we were talking about.
trying to keep up with like who's on the clock.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry.
I just looked up his RAS score, like Boggins just said. 10 out of a possible 10, which is absolutely absurd. Okay.
Yeah, so those your number guys. I know Boggins. I know you are David. I know you love the numbers. Your number guys. He looks on paper. He looks like the perfect wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's got the giant wingspan. His broad jump was 11.4. I'd like to see his 3-cone. I don't have it pulled up, but obviously if he's getting a 10 out of 10 RAS score, then he's probably got some pretty good hit movement. So
and that I'll tell you is one thing on his RAS that's not on his RAS score is his 3-cone, but his 10-yard split is 2.45. Or I'm sorry, his 10-yard split's 1.45. His 20-yard split's 2.45. It's his vertical's 38.5. Yeah, this guy. All right, okay, all right. The Packers got a guy. All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Calvin build guy, good yard after catch,
Which is another thing they really value in that offense.
Oh, what up, boys?
Oh my God, dude, you're killing my ow. I either need to turn
That
down
was
or
very energetic.
what's going on? Yeah, it was a lot. I'm over here trying to Google.
Well,
What's going on, Rob? How you doing?
You got to be ready. Either be ready or, it happens, man. What's happening, fellas?
Just ready for who's next? Who's Tennessee's on the clock right now,
Tennessee is
right?
on the clock. Yep.
Now they might go quarterback here. What do you guys think about that? Is that something
We're second of the draft, huh?
Yeah, maybe a Desmond Ritter landing spot right here. I know one of his pro comps is Ryan Tannehill. So what do you think? Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
Then the Giants are after them. I could see them going quarterback still.
Yeah.
So quick question, fellas. Who's on the clock right now? Is it the Titans?
Yes.
5 minutes and 49 seconds?
Oh,
I'm not sure about the time.
I'm still so behind that I'm on the Packers pick.
Yeah, so. I'm still watching Christian Watson highlight right now. So we're kind of look at this. We're leaning on Mr. Boggins over here as our inside man.
Ooh,
Roger McCrary.
So there's
see.
Woody Page.
That's a tight
Page's
end,
guy
I
just
believe.
got shot out. No, cornerback out of Auburn.
Corner. Okay.
Yes, Woody Page's theory just got shot down. He thought that was the guy he thought the Broncos might trade up for.
That's right, David. That's what you said yesterday.
Yep. So, but I think that's an ultra talented guy that they got for their secondary. The Titans. I mean, obviously, I think that's not going to quiet down the AJ Brown talk for them. But what do you guys think about that pick?
Let's see. He's only 5'11", 190, so he's a smaller, probably a quicker type corner. Probably, his sideline to sideline is probably a little bit better than your press coverage or man coverage. So he's probably going to be a zone guy. But I don't know. The Titans have
a slot corner too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then the Titans, they need that defense.
There you go.
Giants are trading back. Jets are on the clock again.
Yep. As soon as I put it up there. Yep.
Wow. The Jets. Wow. What are the Jets going to do this time?
The Jets, man, they already had 3 first rounds. They're trading up in the second. They're about to have the youngest team in history.
Yeah.
Probably.
But they need a lot. And this was a really, really important draft for Joe Douglas specifically. So
talk about being aggressive. If these guys start working out, if all 4 of them can be like we had our draft class last year, then good on them.
Yep, absolutely.
Sorry about missing most of the first round yesterday, fellas.
Oh, that's fine.
No worries.
I missed it too.
Yeah. And Jared has less excuses. So
I have 0 excuses. Yeah.
Well, because Jared said he would be right
baseball
back.
game.
Jared's like, I'll be back eventually, and then
I played that.
Just were gone.
I played I'll probably like hop in and out, and never hops back in.
Did we get the Mad Fanatic on for a little while, or other than just what he said?
No, he kind of left.
I mean, he was busy. He was
listening,
but it was cool to have him on. Obviously,
Dude, I was stoked.
Yeah.
My parents asked me what I was freaking out about, and I was like, "You have no idea." Kevin, that Simmons jersey looks real nice behind you there, bud.
Doesn't it?
I hate you.
With the signature right there. Nice little signature on the one. It's beautiful.
Nice and glare free too.
Let's see. Mr.
Yeah, the
Boggins
Jets-
is here.
Paul.
Yeah, what if the
Brees Hall.
Jets? Oh my God, they did pick Brees Hall. Holy crap, man! The Jets are
Yeah.
nailing this draft.
Yo,
Wow.
Boggins,
Yeah.
are you in Vegas?
That's
like,
the
are
first.
you in their
that-
pocket?
that's,
What's
the, that's,
going
what, that's what we were saying. This is the first running back off the board.
Yeah, and
I think
but
he's the
it's kind
first
of
running
expected.
back.
That was which was kind of expected. There was a little bit of speculation he might go to Buffalo in the end of the first round, but I think that's a really good pick for them. And they just keep getting better in this draft. This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, this is he's a vision type runner. He's downhill. Quick explosion through the hole. Finds the hole really well. He's got good vision, ball vision. He's also, as I'm reading here, it looks like he was used a lot in the pass game. So he's very, very versatile to be thrown out into screens and some
Really
some
good
stuff
all
from the
around
outside.
back. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Jets. Yeah, that's a great pick for them. I can see why you trade up to get him. I'm sure some teams had a first round grade on him. So yeah, I think that's a really good pickup for them.
So, Jared,
Absolutely.
to your point with your hope of inside linebacker, I'm looking over the best available. It looks like Nakobe Dean out of Georgia is the number one best available inside linebacker from Georgia.
Yes,
I don't know if
we
he's gonna
talked.
be
We
there
talked
at
about that.
64.
We did. We talked about that. I think that's. I don't know if he's going to drop that. I do not expect him to drop that far. It was kind of like a hope and a prayer. But there's a couple other good inside linebackers that may not. I don't know if the problem with this draft class too, though, is just I don't know if any of them could be day one starters. Because right now, who's our inside linebackers? We have Josie Jewell, who re-signed with us. Alexander Johnson didn't. So who's our other inside linebacker that we have to be that guy? And I can't. I don't know if we're gonna try to get somebody. I don't know what our plan is with inside linebacker. That's the only thing I'm thinking of.
Fair point.
So, from what I was watching, it looked like they were saying that Colorado State tight end Trey McBride may be a target for Denver. But why would we go after another tight end?
A lot of people are high on Trey McBride. A lot, and I'll say for a couple. Let's see, for a couple reasons. One, he's a local kid, right? So
Yeah,
Colorado State.
Kind of also before you guys hopped on, we talked about him too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he.
It's all right.
I'm not super high. I'm not super high. Like if we get him, great. That's awesome. I don't think our tight end room is really a unless for some reason he comes down that he is the best player available. I just don't see us going tight end. I think our tight end room is. I know. Alberto, he's been injured. We have that, but I just don't see it because we had one of the deepest tight end rooms last year. I think. Obviously, the trade
I
for
don't know
Noah
if we had
Fant
that.
getting away, but
I mean, Eric Tomlinson, I think, is going to be a really good blocking tight end for us. I think they probably would like some youth just at that position, but I like, I think Trey McBride, as far as it goes, I think we're looking third or fourth round.
I mean, Alberto's only gonna. It's only his third year.
Yeah, sure. I love
if-
Alberto. I'm not saying anything against Alberto.
Right.
Dude, I didn't even know that Marquise Brown got traded to the Cardinals until later on today.
Oh,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That got caught up in all the news of all the shuffles going on.
So how many official trades did we have in the first round yesterday?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was like 9, 11, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
David, I know you didn't you have the over? You said 3 or 4.
Yeah, I said 3 or 4, but not
Yeah.
that many. So yeah, let's see. Houston, Jalen Peters, safety for Houston. Okay, I mean, Houston needs literally every player. So I don't know. I really don't know the draft profile.
Can they
of
draft
guy
a
like Jalen
coach?
Peters.
Did they? So they picked Houston, grabbed Jalen Petir.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. 4.4 yard, 4.4 40. A Baylor kid. Let's see. Looks like he's just almost kind of a like a Justin Simmons kind of type, like safety, just reads the field well. He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year and finished the season 75 tackles, 18.5 for loss, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles. So I don't know if that's a good pick for them, like you said.
Right.
Literally
No idea.
anybody. Literally, like that's probably their draft mantra in their war room.
Get some players. Get
Just
the
give me
highest-
players. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure if how caught up we are in the comments here. What do you guys think about those two players, but also Wisconsin tight end built for blocking? So,
Filele is a guy, especially I've heard about as because you hear so much about him because he's a monster. He's a guy whose stock really fell, and I don't know if it was because he had like a bad Senior Bowl but I know the chatter around him a little more right now is he's got monstrous size, and that's all. And that's, for a tight end, or not a tight end, a right tackle in this NFL, 20 years ago in the NFL, I think that guy could have been just fine. But now you need more than just mauling size even at right tackle, and especially in a zone blocking scheme like this one. So. Yeah, that's my I guess my overall way of saying I'm skeptical of Filele at the very least.
Yeah, so I think both Filele and Lucas, again, if we get them, I don't think they're day one. I don't know. I'd love to get whoever we get. I want them to be a day one starter. And the more I'm looking at these guys, unless they come out and show something in practice, it's going to be very difficult to see day one starters coming out with our pick.
I feel like, unless you just get a guy who falls for some inexplicable reason, like at pick 64, right. Day one starter, that's, I think, a little bit much to expect, honestly. But
absolutely. But yeah. And for Abraham, I assume by Lucas you mean Abraham Lucas, the right tackle, right, from Washington State.
Right. I think so. Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. It. So big guy. I do like the idea of taking a tackle. I think that's a position that I think that we do need a little bit of help. We got very good guard center combo strength. Right tackle has been our Achilles heel for.
And
how many
I'll say
years
this
now?
Well, but I'll say this: I think Billy Turner, it gives you at least a year's worth of Bobby Massey level play at right tackle. So you've got him locked up for this year. So you've got competent play for at least 1 year. But I think you're right in that, this is a perfect place to get a developmental guy, someone with freakish traits who looks really raw, and then you can develop him for a year. That seems perfect to me.
I hate to be the pessimist of the group, but I kind of agree with Jerry Wallace. Just the shape of our team currently as is gives me a lot of hope, and I'm kind of melancholy when it comes to the draft this year. I'm kind of okay, well, if we get anybody, we get anybody. If we don't, we don't. I feel like we have enough weapons, and we have the system and the coach and everything in place. And I'm just sitting here, doing the cross for the special teams because Lord knows, I don't want to see another Tom McMahon succession over here. But, I kind of agree with Jerry Wallace. This team this year really has my hopes up. But, like I said before, we get somebody, we don't. I don't know. Is that just me, or you guys kind of feel the same?
We got our excitement. We got our excitement for the draft when we got Russell Wilson. That was our draft day.
That was our draft day. Yeah,
that was our draft day, and the rest of this is the rest of the draft. I mean, we get the second round, which is good, but our excitement, our motivation was.
I'll disagree. I'll go ahead and disagree, and here's why. Because you still got 4 picks in the top 115, maybe 5, in this draft.
Yes,
and those you can't I get what you're saying for sure, and I definitely agree in that I'm not bummed out that we didn't have a first round pick for sure. I'm not bummed out about it, or saying it's boring for the Broncos so far, but you've got to nail those other picks just because they're not high picks. You got to get guys with those 3rd and 4th round picks that become at least rotational players on your defense that see 500 to 600 snaps every year. And this on offense too. You've got to get at least maybe eventual starters at the end of the 2nd round, early 3rd round, but at least guys who are contributing at key positions. So I get what you guys are saying for sure, but I would also say I have hopes that they will draft effective players with the picks they do have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For me, it'd be saying last year was a fluke, and I just don't see that happening. I mean, we were so solid in our draft picks last year across the board that I think that we're going to be able to find some players that like you're saying may not be starters right away, but can definitely be impactful players, even just more than outside of the special teams. And I think again, as long as it's not somebody who I don't know just is injured all the time, and I mean we won't know how this turns out, until at least a year from now. But I don't know. I'm very optimistic that we finally have some people in the building that know how to draft, and it's more than just talent. It's their leadership capabilities. It's how they are as a team member, and again, I think that's what we talked about this earlier, David, the coaching staff and with what Russell Wilson leading the helm. And I think you just have that totally different mentality than we've had in the last, 5-6 years,
Yeah. Right. To say nothing of the fact that we haven't been able to keep those guys on our team really successfully over the last decade, those mid-round picks that are supposed to make up your roster. So, but go ahead.
I guess what I'll say here is, yes, I'm excited to see what we do with the picks we get once we're done with the picks. But there's nobody on this list that as they draft it, they're going to pop off and be like, yeah, this guy's going to be a stud for us. And I think that's the difference. I think, when we got Pat Surtain, this dude's going to be a stud for us. Even when we got Javonte Williams, we knew when we drafted him, this guy's going to be a guy. And this draft class maybe doesn't just play that as much with me. But you're right. I do think I have faith in Peyton. And like Kevin said, I don't think last year was a fluke. And I'm excited to see what he does with the guys he gets. And I think I'm interested to see, obviously, once we get there. But, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, as we're keeping up with the draft, Boggan's still letting us know. They picked the Falcons picked Arnold Academy, which is one of the better pass rushers left on the board. Really good pickup for them.
Yes.
And then the Bears cornerback Kyler Gordon, who I believe is maybe another slot type guy, a little bit of a shorter armed guy for them. But Bears another team that just need players.
They're another one that just need, especially on the defense, they need so much help. That obviously the defense is where they're gonna go for it. But what I do like, and going back a little bit, how'd you pronounce it, David? Academy.
Academy.
Academy. Ebikity.
A cat?
You're switching the K and the B. It's Ebikettie.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah, a big kitty.
A big
kitty. Okay, yeah. Anyways, he was a Div 2 guy. Oh, not Temple, so they're still Div 1, but transferred to Penn State and had the third highest win ratio in the pass rush behind Hutchinson's and Karlaftis.
Yeah.
So big rusher. Not sure how much he's going to be helping in the run game, but definitely big pass rusher. That's a big pickup for them.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Kev. Did you?
Boggins, I just sent you the link there, so feel free to hop in whenever, man.
A Peckety. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris,
Love it.
The Bears pick is great. I completely agree as well there.
Welcome to Orange Weekly, where we work on Hooked on Phonics with Jared.
Yes, always.
Well, I mean,
you should,
a lot of
you
people
should
still
see
can't
me,
say Rabenom,
You should see me in a hockey fantasy draft. Live hockey drafts, I will butcher literally everybody's name. Like there's no way I get anybody right. It's awesome. I love it.
Jared, that's why they wear numbers, bro.
Yeah, well, no, I mean that's why your hockey drafts you can't. Number 11 from the Tampa Bay.
From the Tampa Bay.
At some point, Jared
Tampa Bay
just
Lightning.
goes, that guy over there.
That guy, yeah.
That's how Jared
Speaking
drafts in fantasy hockey for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that guy, we got another guy in our green room waiting to join. Special guest. I guess we're going to do a crossover episode now with Mile High Roundtable. Mr. Boggins.
Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming in.
Boys.
Yeah.
How you doing?
What's going on, bud?
Excellent. How's your night?
Good. Just waiting for you to drop, who the next pick is.
Yeah.
I know you're so far ahead of us. It's crazy.
It's the Twitter files, the Twitter sources.
There you go.
They kind of just
spoiling the picks, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have a certain dude I like to follow who's a good guy. I want to actually have him on a podcast sometime. He'd be super fun. He's insanely in touch with the draft and stuff. It'd be really cool to have him on. But yeah, things are blowing up today, huh? Oh, by the way, Epichetty.
Okay,
there it is. It's much easier than we were planning on it.
We were dying.
Overthought.
We overthought that one pretty hard.
All right, so
Jared added about 15 syllables.
I did, yes, naturally, yeah.
It's Seahawks time.
Naturally.
Is it Malik Willis time in Seattle?
That'd be very interesting.
It would. Now they went tackle. They eschewed that position out, but yeah, the board is their oyster at this point.
Absolutely. And being from Seattle, it's pretty interesting to watch it all unfold, especially when they decide to go for a tackle once Russell leaves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the highest. Isn't that like the highest they've drafted a tackle?
Yeah. And now they might bring Dwayne Brown back, who's a free agent, and now they'll have Dwayne Brown and Cross. So it's like, oh, hey, look, we're doing something. But Russ is gone now. Yay for Drew Lock, I guess.
We're really going to protect Drew Lock. Well, it's good for them. It's so fascinating to me that they seem like they think they're a win now team.
Yeah,
like, that they're ready to win, and are they?
Are they?
Fair question.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Well, they hitched their wagon to Pete Carroll for a little longer, so.
I think the main problem has always been John Snyder, though. John Snyder always thinks he's smart. I mean, he hit early with obviously like the Bobby Wagner, Russ, and Earl and Richard Sherman and stuff, and then he just got real cocky and just kept trying to bargain basement, and it didn't work out very well for a long time.
Well, he's no less Snead with those mid-round picks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Christian, how you doing? Thinking we're going to go to Super Bowl. I love the optimism. I do. I'm not sold on that.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Not this year. We're close, but not this year.
It's way too early to say that, and at the same time, there's no better time to say it than right now.
Right, exactly. Optimism is high, and I love it.
Yep.
Trying to figure out how I do all this at the same time here.
Yeah,
I like it. There we go. I kind of like, even though I get the picks early, I kind of still like to watch it and experience and see it.
I mean, the drama is its own thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I only spoil for people that want to get the spoils. Otherwise, because it can be a spoiler, not fun for people.
That's true. Well, I think everybody in our audience tonight is prepared for spoilers, and if you're not, maybe this isn't the show for you guys. I don't know.
You hear it here first.
That's right.
Unless you're somewhere else that hears it first.
And heard it first there.
Neil, how you doing? Good to see you here. Good question. The schedule will actually come out on May 12th. They announced that a couple weeks ago, and so we will be doing a show live here at Orange Weekly, 7 p.m. on Thursday, May 12th, the evening that the schedule comes out, as we break it down and give you our thoughts on all of it. So a few more weeks there for that, man.
Yep. We were just talking about that last night. We're going to be real excited for that Broncos-Raiders game in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Boy. Are you going?
Well, hopefully.
Yep.
I mean, we went last year. I get the feeling tickets will probably be 75 to 100% more expensive than they were, and they weren't that cheap last year. So we'll see.
we messed up. We bought them too early. That was our problem.
See, that's the thing. The price never went down, though. Like, we checked. Remember, we went back and checked. It never went appreciably down.
Oh, they did.
After that.
Ray bought his tickets for like $80.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then they went down. Okay. Yeah. 250 wasn't it, but it's going to be 400.
I was ready to go, and then Jared halted my progress.
We were busy / drunk.
Next year.
What happened
was I saw double at everything and forgot.
Me and a couple other guys are going to go to the game in Seattle. That's going to be crazy.
I hope we drop.
I can already see that one being a loss, especially if it's in the first half of the season. Don't know why. I just think that one is going to be a loss. Just like when Manning went back to play the Colts, something like they had his number. They knew too much about him, and they were just able to pick him apart all game.
That's also luck versus Peyton Manning. It's not
that's true.
Drew Lock or Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson.
I am dying to see Drew Lock versus this Denver Broncos defense. Oh man.
Yeah, watch. He doesn't throw an interception the entire game.
Talk about having someone's number.
Perfect. Yeah,
Why would
right.
Literally,
Why would
literally having someone's number.
Right. Come on. Now. You don't think
Richie,
Justin
how you
Simmons,
doing?
Richie, thanks for coming in. Come on, you don't think Justin Simmons lives in Drew Lock's head, Kev? Come on now. Come on.
Easily.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of these cornerbacks too.
Oh my God, Pat Surtain. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Like I'm just waiting for him to just break slowly on an outbreaking, for Drew Lock to choose the outbreaking route slowly, and then bam. Whew. Anyway,
We got Seattle on the clock, right?
We're still on Seattle with the clock. Okay.
Well,
yeah, they're taking their sweet time.
40 and 41. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they get to pick twice in a row here.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yep, this is our pick coming up. So they're picking for us.
Oh, yep.
But they're taking their sweet time, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Per usual. They haven't traded back yet, which is very out of character for them. So
right,
right here, they're going to trade back 5 times.
Yep. And well, I mean, they need the capital too. So if they are in a rebuild mode, or even if they're in win now mode, they still need players. So.
Yeah, Chris, glad
you're they got okay. I like that.
All right.
I like that.
Spoil it, Mr. Voggins. Come on.
All right.
Do it.
That was good, man. That was good.
See, the Seattle Seahawks get Boye Mafe.
Boye Mafe. Oh, that is a good pick. That is a good pick. That's another name I kind of wanted the Broncos maybe to look at, but he was a guy who was going to go. Yeah,
all these edge rushers. All these edge rushers. Yep. It's crazy.
There's more. I mean, that's crazy. The thing. They're even into the 3rd round. I think it's that deep an edge rusher class. You're going to find guys with traits that can help you right away. So
I mean, Mafe was the Senior Bowl guy, right? He just went off at the Senior Bowl, didn't he?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was throwing everybody around.
Yeah, he was having a heyday. He was having his way.
I was hoping that I mean, I knew he wouldn't fall, but there was a lot of talk about him going maybe in the end of the 1st round as well. But yeah, a lot of edges got pushed down somehow. I think the teams got too comfortable with how good this edge class was and just kind of kept pushing it down, and then the Jets were like, we're gonna jump up and snag JJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call. All right, who's on the clock now?
Still Seattle.
Oh well, yeah, because they've got the 2 picks in a row.
Seattle's got the pick. Yeah.
So now they can do picks. So now, do you think they do now? They maybe go quarterback here. They do. They pull a Broncos and then pick Drew Lock and then Dalton Reisner. Two picks in a row, that kind of thing.
Maybe
you'd like to think so. I mean, and if they don't here, they have faith in Drew Lock. Like that's really what it comes down to. If they don't pick one of those 2 guys right now, Drew Lock is their starting quarterback.
To be fair, that
can
is
you imagine?
From the reports I've heard is that they're decently comfortable with Drew Lock,
which is baffling. Absolutely baffling. But
when they're out there for weeks saying, we believe in Drew Lock, we're gonna win with Drew Lock,
You have to. He's on your team.
I don't know.
You can't sit there and be like, you can't get the guy in a trade and be like, yeah, we got this guy right now, he's a number 1, but
4 weeks ago,
you can't say that.
4 weeks ago, Mike Vrabel said that if AJ Brown wasn't on the Titans, he didn't want to be the head coach anymore. So that's
he still has time to leave.
Yeah, well,
but time to leave.
Yeah, all right. Well, coaches say what they have to say. But yeah, I am that. It's like you and Jared and Boggins were saying. It seems like they really mean it. Which boy.
It's their deep cut again,
Yeah, I guess.
It's not cool, it's the Seattle vibe, the hipster vibe, It's not cool.
Not
cool.
Bree has the Seattle Paxton Lynch jersey. Are we going to have to one-up her and get some Drew Lock jerseys in here?
Wow, yeah.
Seattle Drew Lock.
I put on my Trevor Siemian jersey.
Hey,
oh my God.
Did y'all catch Bree wearing the Seattle Seahawks jersey?
Yeah, that was the Lynch jersey.
Joey got,
That's amazing. Dang!
Okay.
I would have gotten the Color Rush jersey myself.
Oh, what do you got?
They picked another one.
Okay, all right.
Not another one, but they got another pick. Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
So both the top out of Michigan State, both
running
backs are out the door.
But would it be a Seattle draft if they didn't pick a running back? I mean,
yeah. But in the 2nd round is weird.
It is. At least they did it with they waited till their third pick in the draft to do it.
Can they
time.
redraft Marshawn Lynch?
They keep trying. They keep trying.
They keep trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It hasn't worked out so far, but man alive. I don't know about you guys. I love Mina Kimes. I'll bet she's feeling some feelings right now.
I'm sure she's
a running back in the second round. Boy, that's something. And with two other good picks, I mean, in a vacuum, Charles Cross and Arnold. Try it for me one more time, Boggins. I forgot it. Arnold.
What? Epichetti.
Yes.
Epichetti.
Okay. But in a vacuum, they've got other good picks. But running back again. Oof. That's all right. Okay.
Boggins, I applaud your pronunciation. It just rolled right off his tongue.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can't. After hearing how Tiki Barber pronounced Arnold Okwebanam, Arnold Okwebanam. See, I can't even say it. Okwebanam. Like you can't do much worse. He said during a game Okwelele, and
wow,
it was like how far away can you be?
Yeah, hey, Charles, there's no L. I mean, it's like there's no L there.
There's no any of that. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know where you were looking.
Where are you going? Colts are on the clock.
Let me update this. Man, I'm falling behind. Colts on the clock. Got it.
Now did the Colts? I don't believe the Colts had a first round pick. Is that correct?
Nope, they did not.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
From
and is this the pick? Is this the pick they got from the Commanders for?
I think so.
For Wentz. Okay. Is this a Wentz pick?
I
still can't believe they got that many picks. Oh my God. What an offseason it's been, boys. Like I just keep going back to this offseason and thinking about all the insane stuff that has happened.
I wonder what they would like if they would have known they could have got Baker instead.
I mean,
because I'm pretty sure that was before.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like now, Baker is going to end up in Carolina, where there was already mutual disinterest, and they're going to it's going to be all year. You can just tell they hate each other all year.
And what I had heard as well is that Baker really wanted to wait it out, and then go to the Steelers just so he could play him play the Browns twice a year. But
that sounds like
now that's
that's not happening. Yeah, no. I'm interested to see. You always want to be a fly in the war room for any team. And any of these teams that need quarterbacks, there's teams that need quarterbacks, and they're sitting there like, are they sitting there being like, okay, so do we take this rookie or do we just go after Baker? Well, because I feel like there's a level there.
Night. Yeah, how many of these rookie quarterbacks were going to step in for you this year or even next year and be better than what Baker Mayfield can give you right now? It's nobody, and that includes Kenny Pickett.
I don't think there's any. Yeah, I don't think there is.
No.
So it is interesting to see, and I don't know what the stall is. I don't think we're really fully read in, like the media is not fully read in on the Baker Mayfield story on what's actually happening, because it's just so weird that he doesn't have a team right now. Like everybody gives him a lot of bad. Like he's a decent quarterback in the NFL.
It's
another trade.
Okay, who's
another trade?
The Vikings are trading up. It looks like.
Oh my God! Oh, the Vikings are screwing up this draft so bad.
Vikings are now on the clock. Oh dude, this is the craziest offseason ever.
There's so
many. Absolutely. And the trades in the draft.
Who did they get? They got. Didn't they get Seen? I think they got Lewis Seen out of Georgia.
Yeah, the Vikings are blowing this up. I'm looking for the tweet, because I read there was a tweet.
What else do they need?
Of what the Vikings have given up in this draft and what they've gotten in return, and it's just absurd.
Dude, I'm sure the Jets is even crazier.
No, I mean, but in two different directions.
Gotcha.
Right. For the Jets in a good way, for the Vikings in a bad way.
In a bad way.
Here it is. The Vikings have turned picks 12, 34, and 46 into 32, 52, 59, and 66, which is
maybe an edge. That's who's on the
you're being called out.
David Ajabo is still there.
No, Neil. I'm not even going there, Neil. I'm not even going there, buddy. Yeah, I mean, Tracy, I think that's part of the problem. I still think one of these teams is going to look at him and say, like we were saying, he's going to give us better production now than anybody else. So,
yeah. Wow, Vikings again. All right.
Chris says, "Wow."
I still haven't seen it change. I still the Colts are on the clock.
There we go.
I see it change. I see the change.
All right.
Okay.
It sounds like the pick is in. What do we got?
The pick is in. The Vikings select someone I would have liked is Andrew Booth,
Oh, yeah.
cornerback out of Clemson.
It would
Finally
be,
went off the board. That's why they traded up because he dropped
Yeah.
pretty far.
would it be a Vikings draft if they didn't pick a corner?
Fair point.
You know, like
Fair point.
Yeah, and 2 defensive backs though for the Vikings so far in this draft. Is Mike Zimmer still the coach there?
So
No.
just freaked out.
Ugh. All right.
What did I just say? Andrew Booth. Trying to tweet it out, and I just forgot who I just announced was the pick.
Yeah, right.
Too many.
Too many. Well, you know. And so we've already seen like 5 trades in the second round. You know, nobody gives a F.
Dude, yeah, Peyton's just sitting back, just like, wow.
Right.
Yeah, just you do
going, I
you.
guess.
Yeah,
Yes,
do
you know,
boo.
his former team too. Like you have to wonder if he's watching and going like, you kind of hope he's not going. Oh God, yeah, that's what I want to be doing.
I mean, from all the sounds of it, is that we could be very much so looking at a interior offensive lineman, primarily a center, in like a Cam Jurgens from Nebraska is the one that keeps popping up a ton.
Right.
Even Albright was saying that expect an interior offensive lineman earlier than people are thinking. And also, when I scrolled through the comments, there was someone mentioning like to fill what hole, and he said someone that may exist tonight. So that may mean a trade potentially of one of our players.
Well,
but like who?
I mean, there is kind of a logjam on the interior offensive line as it now stands. You know, you've got Miners, you've got Moody in there, Glasgow's still there, obviously Reisner, and Cushenberry. So you've got 5 guys for 3 positions there, and kind of not enough difference in the competition level between some of them. Like I said, a little bit of a logjam. So maybe you see a trade scenario happen there, and you pick up an infusion of young talent. Maybe that's where that's coming from. But yeah, if Albright, what do you got?
That's a deep cut, and I love it. Oh man, one of my
Boggins is
favorite.
excited.
Sorry, one of my favorite receivers in the draft just went as like a crazy sleeper.
Okay.
Wandel Robinson out of Kentucky just went to the Giants.
Okay.
If you want to see just pure highlights, watch this dude.
Speed.
He's tiny, but man, is he good.
And like, isn't he like historically small? Like,
I don't know about historically. She's 5'8". I mean, Trenton Holiday was historically small.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy's 5'8", 170 something.
Let's see.
Brandon Perna just tweeted, "Where the hell is this Broncos trade I was fucking promised?"
Alex Pierce.
Anyway, yeah, speed is the I mean, if you want to look at speed,
5'8", 170. So not only is he 5'8", he's 170. 178.
Now, I mean, 178 as far as 5'8", that could be worse, honestly, but still.
Oh no, it's as far as 5'8", it's just, I mean, it's small.
It makes sense though, because they're trying to get rid of Kadarius Toney, or did they? They didn't get rid of Kadarius Toney. It's pretty much Kadarius Toney. Yeah,
they're trying.
It's another one.
And you said he was a sleeper for you. Is he like a guy that they could use in the return game too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that might be a big piece too.
He's kind of all over. Like if he was bigger, he would definitely be first round, no problem. But he's tiny, so that's what kind of makes it very interesting.
5'8". That's whew.
Yeah, that's
and then there's Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin out of Memphis is also 5'8", 170. So there's a couple shorter, quicker, short guys that'll probably go in the top 3 rounds.
How tall was Wes Welker?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he was like 6 foot, wasn't he?
No.
Oh,
no.
Wes Welker?
Google it.
No, he's probably like 5'9", 5'10".
5'9".
Yeah.
There you go.
But he ran a 4.65 40.
Wes Welker played in a different NFL.
Yeah.
Really did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, I was so happy when he joined the Broncos. I was like, take that, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm excited tonight though. If we do get Cam Jurgens, he was my pick for who I thought the Broncos were gonna pick with number 64. I just think he's an immediate upgrade over Lloyd Cushenberry.
Over Cushenberry. Okay.
He's a monster, and you will see him sprinting 45 yards down the field with the play. Would be great for the scheme that we're going to be primarily going into as well. So it's just like an immediate fit. And when you're trying to, and he's also Zach Seegers had mentioned that he's not like the tallest dude. He's about 6'3", which, I mean, you know, for a football player, that's not the tallest. For a lineman, that's not the tallest guy in the world. Being a little shorter is nicer for like a Russell Wilson who's only 5'11".
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's 5'11", but literally any quarterback having the shorter, stockier offensive lineman, so much nicer. Because the taller they are, the harder it is to throw over their helmet.
Yeah.
And you know, it may not be the sexy, exciting pick that Broncos country kind of, you know, wouldn't be the trade up for a pass rusher that the Broncos fans, I'm sure, would be. But that's a good pick. That would be a like you said, a pick that helps your team immediately at pick 64 is not something to shake a stick at, no matter what position you're at.
How funny would it be if the Browns picked up one of these quarterbacks that are on the board still, like Malik Willis?
Yes.
Yep. I could see him doing it too.
I can't. No.
The Giants.
It would be it would create some chaos. That would be pretty fun.
I like chaos. Let's
Sure.
do it.
Well, you know, I mean, the Brownies. Let's see, fellas. Who's next after the Browns?
Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you think the Ravens go receiver I mean, who's he going to throw the ball? Who's Lamar Jackson going to throw the ball to at this point?
Yeah. They still have oh my gosh, pick a couple years back. He was popping off last year. Oh gosh. Let me look it up real quick. That's bugging me. But yeah, there's still quite a few receivers. There's a good receiver class as well. So
yeah,
it is.
It really is. George Pickens is still on the board.
Yeah, that would be a really good one for him.
Oh boy. All right. Well, so the Broncos then have two third-round picks tonight, boys, and we may not stay live because we've already been live for an hour here.
Yeah, believe it or not, it's been an hour.
Wow.
So is there? I mean, Boggins, let me ask you first.
Rashad Bateman's there.
There.
Devin, and then they also had Devin Duvernay as well. So they got some guys. They got some dudes.
They got some guys.
Yeah.
Do you have any insight on who the Broncos might be looking at in the third round?
In the third round, I keep hearing Nick Bonito is one who I'm not like the biggest on, just because he's such a specialist. He's like he's a speed dude. He's a speed edge out of Nebraska, and he doesn't like contact as much, as far as like he doesn't have the strength to go through. Like if you went to the NFL level, it would be a little bit tougher for him to get around. But we can technically afford a project right now.
Sure.
Just because of our depth. So it's not like a huge deal, and you just kind of hope that he will grow.
Cleveland traded to Houston.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
What's Houston
Another
doing
trade
in this draft too?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
what kind of like?
Whoa.
Jared can't. He can't function.
handle. Yeah, Jared can't.
I
handle
don't
right
understand all the trades. Like you trade up because you think the next guy is gonna pick up your guy, but like I don't get it.
Two spots again, unless you're like really certain that the other team's gonna pick him. But I don't know.
Well, boys,
Game of Thrones shit going on right now.
I appreciate all you. Unfortunately, I got to bounce. I got some prior engagements, but I
Thanks
will
for
keep an
stopping
eye
by.
out, and love you guys. Boggins, it was good to have you, brother.
Yeah, man. Good meeting you, man. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, guys. I'll talk to you.
Later, man.
Do you want to?
We do have a pick, by the way.
All
The
right,
Texans have gotten John Mechie out of Alabama.
Okay.
John Mechie.
Wide receiver. Okay.
Solid receiver and
receivers.
There you go. So the second receiver out of Alabama, obviously Jamison Williams was the star that everyone was talking about, even with his injury last year. How does Mechie profile for them? 6 foot, 195 pounds. Let's see, what kind of speed does he have?
Still kind of small. I mean,
he didn't test, I don't think, because he was coming off an injury.
Is he? Okay. So, but just with the size, you maybe kind of peg him maybe a little bit more as a slot receiver. He could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys you get from Alabama are gonna end up being like
they're not your ISO guys.
Yeah. They're rarely the big dudes. Mm-hmm. Even Amari Cooper was like one of the biggest ones, like the thickest dudes, and he's still like he's an outside but he also runs slot as well very well. Like that's just that they find route runners. That's like their main game over there.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing on his pros list is a pro caliber route tree. So
right.
Yeah. Obviously, it sounds like they got a decent quality player if he heals up on a team. Like we've been saying for the Texans, they just need guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, so since we are about an hour in, quick reminder for everyone: please hit that share button. If you already hit it once, hit it again. We are getting closer to the Broncos pick, about 20 away. So hopefully under 2 hours, but it's probably on track for 2 hours from now is the pick. But make sure you go follow us on YouTube as well. Remember, we do have some YouTube-only content we push out during the season to include usually on Monday nights, the post-game podcast, as well as I think one of Sunday shows, or we're going to be doing some, live game calling shows that will happen on YouTube only probably. So anyway, check that out. Make sure you follow us there. And yeah, I don't know. Just getting excited. I think we're getting close to the point where if the Broncos are going to trade up, we're getting to that range.
Absolutely.
Probably in the 50s. So this is kind of the realm, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here.
So here's the other thing I'm not seeing is what are they trading? So they're trading. So Texans traded their third and 2 fourths to trade up just then.
Yeah, they traded 68, 108, 124.
Yeah, so they trade basically they gave up obviously their third round to trade up and then gave away 2 fourths as well just to trade up. How many spots? Like 15? 10?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
just giving away the numbers, giving away the options to have the numbers. I don't know. So this might be things that like George Payton, like he's a numbers guy, right? He said last year, he said I'd rather have 15 picks, 11 picks in the draft. Of your 11 picks, 8 of them are going to be good. Half of them, maybe 10 of them or 5 of them are going to be good. So he likes having the picks, and I don't know if he's willing to give away for a guy in this draft. Right. I don't know if he's willing to do that.
Well, you got to remember next year too. We only have 6 picks right now. Mm-hmm. So,
right.
What is he going to do to get more draft capital next year?
Right.
I could see him making some moves, but not if we're giving up picks, especially for next year. I think any move we see is going to be. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we move down. If there's just not somebody there, but I mean, you wait between pick 64 to 75. If you trade down a few and get some draft capital for next year, I think that'd be a very likely scenario.
Yeah, it'll be interesting once the reports come out of who, apparently they felt that there was still they had first round grade on a person that they want or a player that they wanted that they felt like was going to fall to them. It'll be interesting to find out later if we get it or if they get that player or if it was someone that went off the board.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's his name out of Northern Iowa last year, the tackle. I want to say not Brady Christensen, not. Oh gosh, I don't remember. He went to the Bills, I think.
Okay, maybe I don't know who you're talking about. Thought I did, but wait a minute. Somebody says the Broncos on the clock trading up to 44, but no, that's not true. Okay, that tweet's been deleted.
No, because we're already on 45.
We're already on 45. Okay.
Yeah, we're already
right.
on 45.
Mhm.
David,
like, wait.
David's seeing things.
I'm not even actually watching the draft right now.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, I've got some nature documentaries on. So
Dope.
hmm
That's real life
nature
though.
documentaries.
yeah, right. hmm
He threatened me. He threatened me with playing Call of Duty during the show. He was like, "Jared's not going to be happy, but I'll be on playing Call of Duty if anybody wants to."
I was. When you hopped on. You couldn't tell, but I was. So it wasn't going that well though. So I decided to give you guys my focus.
Does it ever?
Oh man, I love that so much actually.
All right, throw it down, Boggins. What do you got?
Okay, so the Ravens have made a selection. David Ajabo.
Oh
which is
man,
amazing because now he's going to play next to Jason Owe.
That's a ridiculously Ravens pick. Oh my
Oh
god,
man, I love that.
Ravens gonna Raven.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
damn it.
Oh, that does put the Lions on the clock.
I mean, I think that's one of the last top elite edge rushers in the class. I mean, if you can consider him one of the more elite edge rushers.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, he
I mean,
definitely
that's
was
fine.
considered that before the Achilles injury. So
Yeah.
That's a good pickup. That's a very Ravens pick for me. But great pickup
Yeah.
for them.
Because he's not going to be able to play. I think for a while, right? Because of the Achilles. Let me see.
At least not till the start of the season, I thought I saw.
No, I mean it'll probably wipe out
It'll probably
most
go.
of his season.
No red shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
And that
it's
I
gonna be
mean, an
really cool.
Achilles is not like an ACL now, where you're pretty almost certain to come back, as you were. Achilles could linger, especially for
Yeah.
a pass rusher. That could be an injury that affects the rest of his career. You hope not. But
Rappaport is saying round October, but even then, you're kind of like, at what point do you really risk it? Like you want to go on a
Right.
snap count,
Yeah.
you want to, you know what I mean? Like it's
for the Ravens,
Or just get
especially.
him experience for the offseason at that
Right.
point.
Well, the
And
Ravens.
we'll get him back into playing.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ravens are some of the best at developing talent they've drafted in the entire league. So if anybody's going to do right by David Ajabo, it's going to be them. So, fellas, let's see here. Oh man, yeah,
Detroit and Washington.
right.
Still no quarterbacks in the second round.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we saw both the top running backs go finally.
So one
but no
quarterback in 46 picks.
Gosh, and everybody that man, I retweeted one of my tweets from 2021 saying this QB class is a mixed bag of meh. And there's so many people that are like, oh, you don't know it's gonna, there's always that one person that comes up late and blah 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 blah. It's just like, look at it. It's not, you have no starters.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not true. That's not true. Kenny Pickett might, maybe over Mitchell
Maybe.
Trubisky. Maybe,
Probably.
maybe,
I mean, he has to.
maybe.
I don't know. I don't think you get him in the first round to have him sit on the bench behind Michael Trubisky.
Josh Pascal, number 46 overall for the Lions.
Oh, they picked her.
Well,
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Look at David over here taking
yeah.
That one. Yep.
taking to Twitter to
position
steal
is
their.
that?
Dang,
Defensive end, the Kentucky defensive end,
Yeah, that's another
What
one.
was
I
the
want.
last name?
Josh
Pascal.
Pascal.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yep. Now he had more tackles for loss or no gain since 2014 than Myles Garrett did. In the category of SEC edge rushers. So yeah, they definitely got a player in Josh Pascal. Also it sounds like he beat cancer while he was playing. Wow, that's ridiculous. Okay.
man, they got Pascal and Aiden Hutchinson.
And
now.
Aiden Hutchinson. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Ain't nobody running on him.
Dude,
And
all these
Williams?
bad teams are loading up.
Yeah, Williams too. That's ridiculous. That's a good draft.
Commanders are on the clock.
I don't want to be on the clock.
I want to.
Someday.
Someday.
There's still some linemen out there that probably are very interesting. Bernard Raymond is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Falalele, but I don't know if he fits the scheme. He's just such a big dude. Yeah, I mean, there's Abraham Lucas out of the university that shall not be named.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we went offensive line. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's kind of shaping up that way. This is the way the board is falling. The corners that were, the real second round corners kind of gone. The second round pass rushers are kind of gone.
Yeah.
What about? Let me ask you this, Boggins. Would you be surprised to see the Broncos go receiver in the third or fourth round?
Oh, in the fourth, maybe in the fourth round, maybe. I know that it was like a little bit of a talking point on Twitter, but I just don't see it.
Okay.
I mean, especially when you just I mean, I know that the contracts are flexible and everything, but when you just re-signed Cortland, Tim Patrick, KJ is supposedly, I mean, he's looking real good so far. Then you still got Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
You still have Seth Williams coming off practice squad. That was a promising young receiver out of Auburn. I feel
like if you make a receiver, it's going to be for special teams.
Yeah. Phildarian Mathis. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Because there is a DB out there that could do everything. He's probably one of the most athletic dudes in the whole entire draft, and he is a DB out of Houston named Marcus Jones. But he is an elite returner and also a decent cornerback as well. So it's not just like he's just a returner. He can actually give you depth as well.
Right, and I love me my Deontay Spencer, but I feel like there's probably about time. Did he finally get cut?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
you say cut, you don't cut in the off season.
Well, I think he was. I
didn't resign.
I doubt he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think he's. Yeah,
I don't know what his contract was or anything, but you don't get cut in the off season.
No, you're right. But he's not here anymore.
Yeah,
he was here and now he's there.
Are you sure?
He's currently a free agent.
Yeah, so he just didn't get re-signed.
Yes, right. He didn't get tendered. Okay, he had an exclusive rights free agent tender last year, so his contract ran out. So he didn't get cut. Because you're right, that doesn't happen. But he just didn't get
picked up.
Yep. All right. Let's see who's on the clock right now.
Let's see. There's still
Washington.
Edges.
So Washington. Who was Washington's pick, Boggins?
Phildarian Mathis. He's a interior defensive lineman.
Okay.
Which is actually, isn't Perion Winfrey still on the board? I think Perion Winfrey is still on the board.
Yeah,
I have rated higher.
Okay.
So is Travis Jones actually. Did Travis Jones go? Travis Jones didn't go.
No, he's still
I don't think Travis Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Phildarian Mathis over Travis Jones and wow.
You know they love their Alabama defensive linemen in Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even think about that. Oops.
Now, what do you think? What are the chances of the Broncos picking up a defensive lineman, more an interior guy, at any point during this proceeding?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, just off the top of your head.
Yeah. No, I definitely think so. I think that's a very good possibility because I don't think they're necessarily convinced with Mike Purcell, and you don't really know what you have essentially, because with DJ Jones, technically he could play inside or outside, right? Because he's coming from 4-3, so he could play interior probably like as like a one tech, and then you could also have him out a little bit outside. So it depends on where you put him. Because right now you're probably going to have Mike Purcell in the middle, and then DJ Jones on one side, and then Draymond on the other. But you still have Sosa out there, who's
I love
coming
Sosa.
up. Yeah.
So I've loved him since we drafted him.
But I definitely think there is room for improvement. We could, if we got a Travis Jones, that would be your your tackle. That would be your 0-1 tech.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. I see. To me, I think even with Sosa, they might need a little more depth at defensive end.
Yeah.
But they play, and I don't know how much they're going to play base this year. Probably not that much. So.
Yeah.
All of these things depend.
Very, very fair. Yeah. I am very interested to see. There are some decent names out there, but there's only like 5 really that I really like as far as interior defensive linemen.
All right,
in this area.
I kind of took a crap all over Daniel Filele earlier, and I shouldn't do that because he could eat me if he found out I did it. But what do you? I mean, that's a name I heard floated as a tackle prospect for the Broncos that I kind of thought maybe not so much a fit. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. He is a big dude, really big, and with the outside zone scheme, you really got to be mobile,
right?
And when you're bigger, that's a little bit more difficult. He didn't do that great at the combine. He was decent at the Senior Bowl. Had a couple pieces of tape where he like actually got outside and outside zone and like hustled downfield and looked pretty good. And you're like, oh, maybe. Would I put money on it? Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not. He's just such a giant dude that I think you just need to run him in like a power or something and just let him do his thing. I think you're more looking at like a Bernard Raymond or a Abraham Lucas, a Braxton Jones, maybe.
Okay.
I like Rashid Walker as well from Penn State, who I call Mr. Humps a lot, because if you watch his tape, he likes to make a point that he won the scrum.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he doesn't just pancake.
He gives him a little extra. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
puts a little syrup on there.
He sure does. He sure does.
Wow.
And it's unfortunate, but also, awesome at the same time.
Well, that's it. And that, they're not going to let you get away with that. You're going to get a nice piece of laundry for that one, and notice from the league that you owe them a check.
Yep.
But
a couple later guys I like though too. I like Max Mitchell from Louisiana. Didn't test as well as I would have liked him to, but I still like him. Matt Waletzko, who what is his RAS score? His RAS, let's see.
Which is something George Payton is kind of notorious for loving.
Yeah,
those RAS scores. So
I think it's even more not relatable, but like means a little bit more when you have the depth that we have currently, or when you have at least a solid roster right now, and you can kind of play around with it a little bit more and actually get more athletic projects.
Right.
Yeah, he had a 9.96.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay.
He's extremely athletic. A lot of work though. A lot of work. His technique is absolutely terrible. He tiptoes off the line, and you're just like, but he's so big and strong that it's just like he somehow just like catches his footing, and it's like he just shoves the guy away from himself, and then like looks down at his feet, kind of like, oh, let me adjust this real quick. Oh, okay. We got another pick. Jacqueline Brisker. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Big hitting safety out of Penn.
Is that the kind of safety you want anymore in the league?
Penn State.
I mean, depends on what you're running, man.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you're running a true strong safety concept, then yeah, that's exactly what you want.
It's just how many of those guys are really left in the NFL though anymore? It's just such a high, not even Kareem Jackson. Like if you think about what a strong safety is compared to what Kareem Jackson does, and that's the closest thing we've got on the roster. So I guess that is, like you said, if that's what the Bears are running now, sure. But
I think the league is moving a lot to more like 6 DB sets, and so when in situations like that, you run dime a lot more, and you can kind of throw him down there towards the box area. And so I think it might be actually coming back more than you think.
Okay.
Kind of like a Derwin James situation with the Chargers, kind of the same area. It's just kind of tricky how you label yourself coming out of like out of here because sometimes you'll either be a safety or you'll be a linebacker based off of how you play, and so it's how you sell yourself.
As a defensive coordinator, it's nice to have like throwing in a nickel package on a 3rd and 3, right? Like it's nice to have a guy like that you can throw in, and if they pull that tight end into the box, you have that guy that can follow into the box and you still have confidence in. So I like true strong safeties, maybe just a little old school of me, but I like the true strong safety concept because if he can play on the outside against a tight end or running back that they try to pull back in the box, he can go either way and he can pull into the box with that. So I like the concept.
Let me give a little bit just more meta question on the Bears here. Like, how are you helping Justin Fields? Like,
they're not.
No,
you hired a defensive-minded head coach.
And then you picked Jacqueline and Kyler Gordon. Did they even have a first-round pick? No, because they traded it last year to get Justin Fields.
Yeah, exactly.
And they also did nothing in free agency to help Justin Fields. Like, did somebody hire you to ruin Justin Fields?
That's why I think it's ridiculous when people talk. First of all, I always laugh when people judge QB like wholeheartedly off of their first season in the NFL. Like the jump is so insane. It's not even like
crazy.
It's hilarious, really. But like, they're not setting him up for success. So when people are like, "Oh, Justin Fields sucks," it's like, what does he have? What are they giving him to be successful? Anything? Nothing? Okay. Like, it's just like, I don't know what else to do. I mean, they have Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Is like their number one receiver right now.
Yeah.
Is that it?
And that's it. And you had the offensive coach last year, but he was, a lame duck coach. And so that's what you give him the first 2 years is the, lame duck coach and then Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
And
they got Byron Pringle. Cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, Pringle. All right. Well, why didn't you say so before?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut my mouth.
You were on the Chiefs. Come over here.
Oh my God.
Boys, gents, this is important. Our name is now officially on the bottom tickler. We are finally on the tickler.
You have to stop saying tickler right now because that's not.
What I'm trying to figure out.
No, it's 100% the tickler. Yeah, no. So the bottom tickler, like, see, we got one down there. It says join us for our scheduled release show on the bottom tickler of the NFL draft. We're on the end. We're just at the tip of the tickler.
Sick.
I'm very confused as to what's happening right now.
You don't even know.
I think, might be the most upset I've ever been at a thing you said while we were live. During this show. Yeah, and that's saying a lot.
I do like how you clarify while we're live because there's been some other
on the backstage for sure, and then when we're not live also some things are said. But that I'm not proud of that. That's but there it is. So
I want to say that you've been a lot more upset with many other things.
Yes. I'm very proud of that.
All right. Well, I need to go grab my computer charger. But Jared, why don't you ask Boggins about inside linebacker and his thoughts? Because I know how much you love that.
Oh yeah. Well, the fact that the number one inside linebacker for the second round isn't off the board yet, I think that's kind of important. I'm wondering if there's any, like, what's the deal? Why is he sliding so bad? Why is Nakobe Dean? Why is he not off the board right now?
There's been some injury issues. I don't remember. He had an issue with his lower body. I don't remember what it was, but then also like recently he was doing a workout for a team and he like strained his pectoral muscle or something as well. So he's got multiple injuries right now. The length thing is still an issue. He would be the number one overall inside linebacker if he was bigger, but he is not. So, I mean, also the injury thing is a big deal, but I think he'll be a later gem for a team. I don't necessarily want to snag a linebacker that early just because I don't value him as highly as some others. But
I know, Boggins, you've been watching our show for a while. I'm huge on inside linebacker, and I think that's kind of leader of our team, and it needs to be, the center that you rotate a defense around. But that's my old school mentality. I'm an offensive guy too, so what do I know? But I do like the interior defense or the interior linebacker. And my question right now is, who's going to start opposite of Josie Jewell right now?
I mean, I think they'll still use Baron Browning in kind of a hybrid situation, but then you also have Jonas Griffith, who played very well last year, that I think is pretty much better than any of these draft picks are going to be in their first year, anyways.
Okay.
He played very solid last year when asked to in his first season starting. So So you think we have faith in Jonas Griffith? Because, again, we didn't re-sign Alexander Johnson, who, again, I think he's 32 years old. He's getting, as a linebacker, it's kind of higher in age. But I before his injury, he was playing lights out, and we decided to keep, Josie Jewell instead of Alexander, instead of both of them. And I agree. I think you're kind of looking at more of just like the type of linebacker you're looking for, Alexander Johnson was more of a see ball, get ball kind of guy, very much like a Kenny Young. And a lot of people got really excited about Kenny Young because they see ball, get ball. They get there quick, right? They are very athletic. So when the ball is already doing what it's going to do, they are there very quickly. So
and they play the scheme well to not get blocked. They're very good at, and that's why I liked Alexander Johnson. You're right, same thing. I'm real high on him. I think they're very good at playing the scheme, playing to make sure that they don't get blocked to be able to get into the backfield or stop a run from being a 5-yard run to a 1 or 2 yard run just because they can get into the hole. So I'm a big fan of the interior defensive line interior linebacker for that reason.
Yeah. I don't think they don't have I think they are important to the defense. I just think they are essentially the running back of the offense. I mean, of the defense, where it's just the least valuable position on the field. Where you can, look at how many people Fangio was able to put in there that just did okay, right? Just because based off of his defense, where it was just they would drop into coverage and they'd sit there and wait to see what happened, and then they would close. And they did very well. Josie Jewell, I think, did the best out of any of the linebackers that we had outside of Baron Browning, who obviously popped off. So I think, depending on what they do with Baron Browning, he played a hybrid at Ohio State. So that may be what they're trying to do but I kind of feel like they're testing the waters to see what he is best at, because edge is definitely a more valuable position and you don't know what's going to be happening with Bradley Chubb coming up. And so maybe that's why they haven't reached on the edge yet, because they're very confident that they feel very confident that Baron Browning might just be moving to edge completely. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, maybe.
Chiefs are on the clock, by the way. I don't know how late I am.
I forgot about Singleton.
The Saints just moved back up again? Wait.
Oh, did they trade?
For Alontae Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was earlier. They had already made – there
was the trade.
Okay, Patriots are on the clock.
Got it.
All right.
Got it. Okay, that's confusing. Saints move up. Why does it say Saints move up and then the Patriots move up? Well, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Saints were the pick before the Patriots, right?
Yeah, but this is after. Yeah, this is after the Saints.
The pick is in.
Weird. Who are they trading up for? Let's see.
Philadelphia is
a wide receiver, maybe. Who's on the George Pickens, maybe.
7 trades, round number 2 so far.
So crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And you're only in pick 50 at this point. So
select.
Another half to go yet.
The first round.
Hey, everyone else, glad you're joining us. Glad you're joining us, hanging out with us here on this chat. Again, as it gets closer to the Broncos pick, feel free to hit that share button again. Make sure you join us on May 12th for the schedule release show. We'll be giving you our breakdown of that. So that's going to be here real soon. And then get ready. I think between the time the schedule is out, and you got June and July is when training camp starts. I mean, we're going to be there before you know it, guys.
I hope so, because
enjoy your downtime, because we're going to get busy.
Summer is already
Yeah.
like my least favorite time of the season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Wow.
I know.
Especially that time between the Stanley Cup playoffs ending and football starting.
Ice cold take. I know. Ice cold take. And which
I'm
is
right there
ironic,
with you.
considering.
The Pats
But-
made their
But the winner.
pick, by the way,
Okay,
Yeah.
what do we got?
and it is a reach again.
Oh. Well, that's the Pats.
Again.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
Taekwon Thornton out of Baylor, who is a speedster, but
Okay.
like he blew up at the combine. He's the one that ran what they thought was like the fastest time ever.
Oh,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
blew it out of the water, and then it turned out that it was just like clickbait.
They messed
and
up
that
the-
yeah. So
Speaking of a
that's-
reach, Mr. Boggins here, Mike has given you a shout out. It sounds like he loves you a lot.
you're a big
There's
fan.
real
here.
bromance
Who's this
going
guy?
on there.
Never
Yeah.
heard of him.
Mike.
No, that's all
Never
right.
heard of him. He says never heard of him.
Beautiful. All right. Well, so that's the Pats draft for you. Cole Strange early. It was not a terrible pick, but also kind
I mean,
of.
they traded up. They trade up 4 picks and gave away a 5th round. So why they wanted to trade up for that pick is a little. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they thought
There's
Kansas
somebody
City
else
was going to
gonna
try to
go
grab a
after him,
speedy wide receiver. Maybe they thought Kansas City was trying to do it.
This is the thing. Bill Belichick clearly does have intel on the rest of the league that other people don't have. I just wonder, like, does he just also get like nonsense sometimes? Like, oh yeah, like, if you don't trade up, this guy's going to take that team's going to take this guy. They love him over there. Like,
Right.
He just picks whatever he likes for.
Yeah.
Who I don't even know who his offensive coordinator is now.
Isn't it Joe Judge? I'm pretty sure.
I think it's just I think it's like BS.
It's just him. And then he's got Joe Judge
job titles, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's there. Joe Judge is there. What's his name? The Detroit. Rob.
You know what's hilarious is like if you leave the Pats to go as like to get a head coaching job somewhere, you fail, you come back, you get a weird title now. You don't get your defensive coordinator job back. You get some weird. This is your punishment for leaving in the first place.
The artist formerly known as the defensive coordinator.
Not only that, but if you were on the defensive side of the ball, now you have to go do the offense.
Oh
It's almost like some weird like village cult where like you will never leave the village, and then they leave and they come back like I'm sorry I left, and you're like
right.
See,
the
world is scary, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna make you sad you ever left Bill Belichick.
Yeah, see everybody, this is what happens when you leave. Like it's a
Oh no!
What do you got?
Oh,
do it.
Your pick got taken. His pick got taken.
The Eagles just got Cam Jurgens.
Oh, there it goes.
No,
losing any reason to really trade up.
Well, so let's ask this: is that kind of the name you heard connected to the Broncos as far as interior offensive line?
Yeah, I mean,
at least this high.
Like this high, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well,
all right. Well, so might still be in play, but the way the draft is falling to us, guys, you've still got Nakobe Dean out there and Chad Muma available. If inside linebacker is the direction you want to go, you've still got Lucas or Raymond at that tackle spot. You've got to think that those are at least in play at Broncos headquarters right now. Any other guesses as to where they might be heavily leaning now at 64 if they're not thinking trade back at this point?
I think they're probably going to look at. Let's see. Let me look at the list of people to see who is potentially still on the board. I mean, maybe tight end. Everyone keeps talking about Trey McBride. He's not my number one tight end, but I do like Trey McBride. He is a very good tight end.
Yep.
Let's see. Edge. Let's look at this list of edges. Who's still there? I still got Nick Bonito. Cameron Thomas is still there.
Who's the Oklahoma guy's Nick Bonito?
Nick Bonito.
There was a Western Kentucky one. I don't remember now. It was one of their
Kentucky is Josh Pascal, but he's already gone.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, he went already. You still got. I still don't think Travis Jones is gone, so that's still very much an option in interior defensive line. Yeah.
If you're looking at tight ends.
No, right. We were talking about that.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
Let's see. Receivers. No, I don't think you're gonna.
That's a great pick for the Eagles too. If Jason Kelsey's going to retire after this year, that's
yeah. You still have a lot of good tackles too. So tackle is still very, very much in play.
Okay. So still lots of options for the Broncos. Let's see.
You know who I want to pick in this year's draft?
There goes George Pickens to the Steelers.
George Pickens to the Steelers. Now, I love that pick for them. Oh, they love getting wide receivers that actually pan out. But all right, okay. So wait, they have Pickett and Pickens now. That's
Pickett. Pickens is going to throw to Pickett. Yep.
Great. Yep. No, Pickett's going to throw to Pickens.
Pickett's going to throw to Pickens.
Mm-hmm. Pickett's getting them Pickens.
Oh my god.
Yep.
This is getting out of hand. So let's go around as we're coming closer. I see the tickler. And as we're getting closer to the Broncos being on the clock, we kind of like danced around this idea, but what is each one of us's biggest need for the Broncos? What is like if all things even, right? There's a top linebacker, top every position on the board. What is the one position that you think we need? I've already said mine. I think it's interior linebacker. But what do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with it's tough, but I think edge rusher is probably something. I mean, I'm still just looking at while I think that Gregory's suspension issues is behind him. I'm still worried about health, Bradley Chubb's health. We do got some talent there, some younger talent, but I think if we're in a position where that guy is there, I don't think you can pass up on him, especially with just the quarterbacks we're going to face every single year, So,
okay. I mean, injury prone too. I mean, our top two guys are both injury prone too, so we have that going for us. But yeah, I agree. David, what do you think?
This is tough.
That is tough.
Like maybe
because you have a lot of options.
Definitely not inside linebacker. Oof. Like maybe
where's
center?
Yeah, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, maybe center. or like number 2 tight end. Now that like I'm really especially with the Cam Jurgens thing.
Now
the more we talked about Cam Jurgens and Lloyd Cushenberry, and Lloyd Cushenberry's not terrible. He's like a slightly below average to average NFL center.
He was rated one of the worst in the league last year, like like bottom 2.
Now and so, but that being the case, I think that you can easily make the argument that would be the area you could improve the team the most immediately. So I get the more I think about it, I guess center is probably my answer.
All right, Boggins, what do you think?
I agree with all those.
Great.
It's a tough question, right?
Well, I think we're in a good place though, where we have needs, but do we at the same time? Like we have a solid roster like all around, and now we're pretty much essentially looking for depth picks. Like we have a starter in each position that can play through the season. It's not like we're like, oh god, like what are we gonna do there? I mean, I think as far as value, I would say either edge or cornerback. I think cornerback is definitely one of the more sneaky needs, just because the sets we're going to have.
A lot of them gone already. It's tough.
And Darby's hasn't played like a full season. We're getting into his second or third year, so this is the last year that his contract. What's Michael Ojemudia going to do? And then what do you have behind that? I mean, you have Williams now. There, who's a little bit older. I think it's like he's 30.
30 or 31, yeah. Plus, you want him to be the slot guy in an ideal world.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a bigger need than is popular out there right now.
Okay, well, now another question is: do you guys already have the Eagles pick?
We have the Colts
Cameron Jurgens.
Oh, okay, Cam Jurgens. Okay, so the Colts are up. Okay,
the Colts just picked Alec Pierce.
Okay,
which is a deep cut.
You are way ahead from where.
Yeah, deep
out of Cincinnati.
And ESPN is.
Wow. That was, I
Wide
thought,
receiver.
a possible
Although
landing
he's a
spot
big
for
man.
McBride. So
Yeah, I don't know why Sky Moore is dropping so much. I don't think I saw Sky Moore because David Bell hasn't gone.
Who'd the Steelers
Well,
get? Sorry,
Alec Pierce is a true. We talk about how many
Pickens.
small wide receivers are in this this draft, but he's a true outside 6'3" guy. He's a guy that can block for you. He's a guy that can be on the outside and get those one-on-ones if you need it. So maybe that's what they're looking at for that. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so we're never going to be mad at the Broncos, obviously. But if there's one position that if the Broncos picked him, you're logging off and not talking about it. Like what position would you be like?
And we can't say
why?
quarterback, right?
No.
Because that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well-
can't say cornerback because that's
no,
just,
don't say
I-
quarterback and don't say long snapper either.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there goes my two options. Kev, what do you got? No,
Hunter.
mine's running back. And
That's
I
a good-
think
yeah.
for two reasons. One, we're too deep in the draft, and I don't think there's a running back in here that could really be unless for some reason we think he's going to be a good special teams guy. But we have our top two guys. We just re-signed Melvin Gordon, which was a huge get back for us, and I think that's a one position that we don't need to worry about this year.
Okay. I will. And we're obviously not saying kicker or punter either, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's disqualify those two.
Yeah,
There goes Sky Moore.
Wait.
Damn it.
You spoke it in.
Chiefs.
Oh no. Okay, the Chiefs. All
There's
right,
your
yeah.
your yak yards, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
There's what they lost. They're just trying to get it back.
Now,
Yep.
here's one criticism I heard about Sky Moore that kind of put me off of him was as a small school guy, and Boggins, you watch infinitely more tape than I do on every player. But as a small school guy, he was good, but he was never just out there demolishing competition, which is kind of preferable when you're drafting a small school guy in the NFL. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, but I think it all kind of depends on how he's utilized in the NFL because it's just so different. And I think, like, especially when it comes to the Chiefs, I think that's kind of like how the Chiefs excel. They get those yak players and they can just scheme so well that they'll put him in opportunities to be very successful.
Yeah.
So all they need is the physical traits, essentially. The size doesn't matter to them because they're gonna slant you all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was hoping that they wouldn't get, but they still don't really have a number one receiver though. I mean, is it Juju?
Right.
I don't people don't understand how much they actually are going to lose with Tyreek Hill and how much Tyreek Hill. You're not going to find another Tyreek Hill.
He's a one of one type player.
Yeah.
It's for sure. That was an intriguing ooh. What do you got?
Huh?
Faster than quick.
It was a basketball news.
Okay.
What do you
there
got?
goes
Trey McBride.
Oh man.
I was like holding my breath. Okay,
I knew it.
man.
Yeah. It was really unlikely.
I know. I was just hoping that.
Well, is he the number? I mean, obviously he's the number one tight end in this draft because that's the first tight end off the board. But is he the number one tight end in this draft?
He's not.
I don't think he is.
That's fair.
I mean, I obviously love it. Colorado State, get it. I get the relation, but
who's your number one guy in this?
I don't know his name. Who is the guy? Is an SEC guy? Not SEC. UCLA. The UCLA was his
UCLA.
name.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't pronounce his name.
Dulcich. Yeah.
So
I think
good tight end. I think if you're making a comparison of the two, I think the profile on McBride is he's a little more all around as far as his blocking and route running. The other your UCLA guy's really more of just a move tight end. Not much of a not really willing to stick his nose in there.
Yeah, well, I get that. I do. I don't know. I feel like he definitely that's going to be a reach. Who'd he go to?
Bengals.
I did. Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry. No, I lied. Sorry. That was just in my head from earlier because I thought about it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Oh, yeah,
So,
not as mad.
Let's
Not as mad.
keep Kyler happy.
Yeah.
They have Zach Ertz too. So Zach Ertz, Trey McBride, They just traded for
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad about that. If he would have gone to Cincinnati, I'm like, fuck. They just got. I mean, because they got Uzma still up in Cincinnati, don't they?
So what?
Uzma.
No,
yeah.
he went to the Jets.
He's not in there. Oh,
he went to the Jets.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Him and another tight end.
So yeah,
they loaded up. Jets.
Maybe that's why you thought about that, because I think that would have been a perfect scheme fit for Trey McBride. I think that probably would have been his best option.
Yeah, I had seen it mocked multiple times and I liked it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean this
didn't fall to him though.
Yeah, this makes sense, I guess. I mean give Kyler everything he wants. Except money. Yeah. Except the money.
Don't right. Yeah. Except, exactly. Except a new contract.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna pay you.
Yeah. But
we did get you this really cool deck
got you a tight end.
Yeah. With your face on them. Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want money? Oh, look, shiny.
Here is an assortment of gifts that you could get a bar mitzvah boy for his 13th birthday. We got you a pen. Would you like a pen?
Poor Sayer. Looks like you guys know Sayer Bettinger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
5 minutes ago, she said Sky Moore to the Broncos is still on the table, and then the news immediately came in after.
Oh,
he's like, I should have stayed quiet.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Sky Moore is a good pick for the Chiefs, but the reality for the Chiefs right now is they probably still are going to take a step back this year. Like, unless he is insanely good right away and they just plug him in exactly and know how to use him. It's going to be really, really interesting in this AFC West to see where the Chiefs fall.
Yep. Oh, God, we're getting close. Let's see where we're at.
Where are we on the tickler?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more picks.
Shouldn't have said anything at all.
Does the Cowboys announce yet?
This is my fault. It really is.
And Ethan is asking about Dean. What do you all know about Dean?
So Nakobe Dean, the inside linebacker from Georgia.
That's what we were just talking about. We've been talking about him pretty intense.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, the short answer is probably not, because if he's fallen
injuries,
if he's fallen this far, like.
So David, when you bounced out for a minute, Boggins did a good job explaining, because I asked him, I said, why is he fallen? But the injury concern, he got injured a pec. You said at a.
That's a
pro day.
Too.
I think that's why he's fallen.
Didn't we have a Broncos didn't Todd Davis like 3 or 4 years ago? Didn't he get a pec injury? Somebody got a pec injury.
Josie,
thank you. And
that was last year.
It was it was rough. Yeah, he never. Yeah, that was it. That was.
I remember the pictures.
Yeah. That's what Alexander and both like.
I remember seeing the picture of Josie, and it was just like fucking black and blue all the way through.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a while before Dean's ready to play from that. Talk
about if again, and we're in a position. I think the Broncos are really in. We just went around the room and said, "What's our biggest need?" And everybody was like, "We kind of have our starters at every position." Mm-hmm. If we're talking about picking up somebody that's our future, I think that's a guy that we can get. That we just have to invest the time in and understand that he's probably not going to be able to play the first half of the season.
Yeah, I'm not crazy, right? Travis Jones still hasn't gone.
Nope.
No.
That's crazy.
One thing about Dean, Jared,
then I agree.
And this is just more related to his on the field stuff, is kind of the one hesitation that everybody had about him was that he played with that great Georgia team where that defensive line was just eating up everything in front of. He wasn't asked to shed blocks. He wasn't asked to sort through a lot of trash in the run game.
You're right, but he was also the captain.
Yeah. That's true.
Right? He was the captain of that elite Georgia defense.
Yep.
So talk about a leader, talk about a guy that can get out there and be a leader. I mean, you have a team out there that was an elite team. Like, you're talking about probably one of the best defenses in the NCAA in the past 10 years. And he was the captain of that team. So
okay, let's see.
I also hold that C on the chest a little bit more than a lot of people do. I do love the captains. I love, we talked about it for so long, and love me some Vaughn. Don't get me wrong, love me some Vaughn, but he was our captain and he wasn't a great leader. He was more of a passive guy, let me do my job, which is great. Everybody needs those guys. He was very good at it, but he wasn't that leader that we needed on that defense. And with the new coaching staff, I don't know what we're gonna get. We need that leader on the defense. I mean, shit, our the dot 5 or 6 players last year.
And
How
I
many?
I think it's going to be Justin Simmons. As of now,
That'd be
it's
awesome.
Justin Simmons, I think.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that thought, Tash.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
It would be. I think one pick would be interesting as far as inside linebacker as well would be Leo Chenal.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Okay.
That would be very interesting. He would pretty much take over your Alexander Johnson role.
Okay.
My God, is he just an absolute tank of a person? Like him on a gap blitz is like unstoppable. It's just scary to watch. He's giant. That one would be a very interesting pick. Just maybe they choose to go with the athleticism.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, if he was a little bit bigger, you could maybe put him at edge just because he's like that type of build.
But we've, Ajiro Evero was pretty clear in his introductory press conference that the Broncos are going to get.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
What's that?
The Cowboys select Sam Williams.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, of course they do.
All right. So the Cowboys are going to Cowboys, and
Cowboys are going to Cowboy.
Yeah. So they go. I mean, is this their Randy Gregory replacement?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
I mean, not like drop down like 5 or 6 levels, but
yeah.
Right.
But he's another guy. I mean, he's a traits guy, right? He's got an athletic profile. He's got great testing numbers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. He's definitely raw for sure.
That's been the Cowboys draft so far.
That's just they like the raw talent for sure.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know he has some character concerns. Dropped sexual assault charges.
Okay, see that I didn't know.
So it's a very Cowboys pick.
Very Cowboys. Yeah.
Very Cowboys.
Very Cowboys.
Man,
Cowboys or Raiders? Those are the guys that are going to pick that kind of guy.
Man, the Raiders really didn't pick up any of their 3 first-round picks, 5th-year options today. They all got declined. Cleveland Farrell, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Abraham. Like,
wow,
what? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean that's you hired a TV star to be your GM, and you hired a TV star to be your head coach, and that's what you got.
Yeah, and then that went sideways quick.
I mean, you got what you got.
Yeah. Love seeing it, by the way. Love seeing the downfall of the Raiders. That is absolutely
Put that right.
That's on my list of things I love to see. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
What are we at? Pick 56?
57 Buffalo on the clock.
Yep. Buffalo.
Ooh, I got to go grab my charger.
Yeah.
Bills trade. Who are they trading with?
Who are they trading with?
Come on, baby. Bucks. Damn it. Boo.
Well, fine.
So now we're actively rooting for
excited.
a trade.
I got excited there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Especially since Jared just left.
That's true. Yeah. It's true. It's like, all right, we've been doing this for 2 hours now.
Yeah. 2 hours. Okay. Jared leaves and the Broncos would trade up as soon as he left.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be hilarious.
For an inside linebacker. Oh my God.
For an inside linebacker. So Boggins, I was approached by one of your other Mile High Roundtable peeps to leave Orange Weekly and join you all, which of course my answer was hell no. But I figure if I'm going to, they're going to try to, you're all going to try to poach us, I might as well try to poach you guys and ask, when do you want to leave Mile High Roundtable and become part of Orange Weekly?
Man, whenever my schedule is a little more open.
Sure.
I'm currently on MHRT, the network.
Right, but you leave
the
them.
5280 podcast, but I'm also on Mainly Broncos as well. So I don't think the fiance would let me do because we do Mainly Broncos twice a week and then MHR2 once a week, or at least I do. So that's 3 times a week. I feel like she'd be like, all right, knock it off. I get you like
enough
the Broncos and everything, and we live in Seattle, so she's a Seahawks fan, and so it's just like
So she doesn't totally understand.
Like
but
they have the opposite relationship of Ayla, because Ayla is the Broncos fan and her husband is the Seahawks fan.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. But I'll come on. I have no problem jumping on with you guys sometimes. Just let me know.
Yeah, no. I was just giving you. I was just thought that was funny. They were like, "You should join us," and I'm like,
Poachers, the poachers.
They're always, you got to look out for the new talent.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'll take new. That makes it sound like I'm young or something.
Well, we are getting close. Less than 10 picks away from the Broncos. At least.
There's still not a second quarterback.
Trades.
Yeah,
still not a second quarterback.
No, there still hasn't been. No Malik Willis, no Desmond Ridder, no Matt Corral.
We are.
Yep.
Pick
until the Broncos pick.
Yeah.
50. Yeah.
We just picked Malik
Willis, right?
Just
to sit behind Russ. We don't.
That would
actually wouldn't even. I wouldn't even be mad. Like I'd kind of be like,
you got the A-OK from Russ on that. That would be sick.
Yeah. Like just know, like, I mean, even no matter who, if we did pick up a quarterback, no matter who it was, it would definitely be like what you're getting into. Like you're sitting behind this guy for a couple years.
Luke Godke, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's who the Bucks picked.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So they traded up. Oh, that's it. Yeah, offensive lineman guy, Central Michigan.
Bernard Ryman, really not as beloved as the analysts thought he might be.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the Godecki is your another center.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 6'5", 312, big guy.
Oh,
no. Okay.
Didn't even see it.
All right, yeah, he played tackle in college, but yeah, he kicks inside in the NFL for sure. So lots of guys still in play for the Broncos: Chad Muma, Nakobe Dean, Travis Jones, all still on the board right now. Of the guys who are left right now, Boggins, is it Jones for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had a list of like who's off the board and who's not in my options in front of me, but I don't.
Sure.
So I'm kind of just like looking at.
So let me read out. This is a very incomplete list.
Mm-hmm.
But Bernard Ryman's still there. Nakobe Dean, Chad Muma, Drake Jackson, Christian Harris, Travis Jones, Nick Bonetto. All of them are still there right now.
I would take Travis Jones.
Okay.
I would take Travis Jones and then Raymond if.
Okay.
That in that order.
Okay. Very good. All right, Jared. Inside linebacker. Do I even have to ask?
Yeah. You know who I want. I want Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
I want Nakobe Dean.
Okay. Nakobe Dean would be great. I wouldn't
be mad for sure. Wouldn't be.
I just don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you would take Jonas Griffith's spot, but you're just kind of like you're digging deep.
Yep.
At that point.
Yep, you are. But kind of we were talking about it earlier, if you're slotting Jonas Griffith in there, it's not that I don't think Jonas Griffith is a good player, but it's just on paper that's not a huge commitment of resources anyway.
Yep.
So you may not. What do you
just got passed up.
Uh-oh. Is that Dean?
Yeah, the Falcons just selected Troy Anderson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're going with the pure traits, the former tight end, I believe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
He's an athletic freak, but like very raw.
Wow. Okay. Huh. Man, what a draft. What a draft it's been
this
already.
Draft.
Fellas.
Holy shit.
But isn't this every draft? Like, don't we end up saying this about every draft? Like, I feel like none of them are just
I feel like last year's was very like melancholy. I feel like last year's was like, yeah, this is kind of what I mean. Other than our draft, obviously, a lot of people were not expecting us to pick up PS2, but I think the last draft was like at the end of it, everyone was like, this is cool. Like, yeah, this went about. There wasn't as many trades. There wasn't as many like crazy picks out of nowhere. This one is. This one's crazy. I mean, this tracks are like the NFL offseason.
It's been quite an offseason. I would like to now see, like, if there could be a talent outflux from the AFC, like if more AJ Brown trades could happen, that would be fine by me. Because we've had plenty of, like, way, way, way too many good players in the AFC
coming into the AFC West
from the NFC.
Now, I do that AJ Brown, like that was probably the biggest shock of last. Like I don't who did they get with that trade?
They got a pick 18 or wait, what was it? No, I think that was the
They picked up somebody though. Like they traded away AJ Brown and was like whoever they got, I was like, really? Was that worth it?
Really?
I don't think they got a player. Oh, you mean who they picked?
Who they drafted? Yeah, so they trade away to pull up.
Yeah, the Trayvon Burks, who is like essentially the draft version of AJ
Well, that's
Brown.
it. Like you
That's
draft a guy
they
who's
literally
ceiling,
draft his clone.
Yeah, you draft a guy whose ceiling is AJ Brown when you had AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
But then did you see the contract? That's why.
That's the thing. I'm sorry. If you're not willing to pay more than $16 million to AJ Brown, you didn't want to keep AJ Brown. Like that's where the wide
that was signed
is right now.
Immediately.
Yeah,
that was signed immediately.
Like that's where I get it, but that's where the market is right now, and he's given them the production to match that contract. I just
absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, like maybe with the injuries, you have an argument for not paying him if you're the Titans, but I don't know. I feel like I said, if you're offering him $16 million that escalates to 20, you really, I don't know that you really wanted to keep him that badly if you weren't willing to go up from there.
Yeah, they may have just wanted to keep the money and try to go younger.
Yep.
Cheaper.
Yep. And it may be a red flag that they were that willing to give him away. Just at the drop of a hat like that, but somebody was willing to give him the money right away. So we'll see.
Right. Well, honestly,
go ahead.
With how quick that draft, like with how quick the contract was, that was decided a while back.
Oh yeah, it
just wasn't. Yeah, that was in talk for a while, and I think Tennessee, they drafted his replacement, right? But at the same time, like they got draft capital out of him instead of whatever they could have gotten, right? Yeah. Like there's a chance so good on them.
Yep.
Montana State.
Now I think this is going to be really. It's such an interesting contrast between what you see happen with AJ Brown and what seems to be going on with Deebo Samuel behind the scenes. Kind of similar in that they, both want to trade out of their situation, but San Francisco, from all reports, not cooperating at all. Really kind of playing a hard line, and maybe they will come back with a contract offer that's a little bit closer to what Deebo Samuel's thinking.
The Jets did offer to trade for Deebo yesterday. Some picks, and they said no.
Sure. So it seems to me they have interest in keeping him. Deebo Samuel doesn't have a ton of leverage other than just kind of sitting.
Right.
But we'll see. Yeah, if they pony up the money and he decides to stay there, it'll be kind of interesting to compare what happens to those two receivers in a few years.
Vikings select Ed Ingram.
Ed Ingram. What are the Vikings doing?
Who knows?
Yeah.
We got the Buffalo Bills on the clock now.
There are at least 5 players I would be happy if the Broncos drafted, and less than 5 picks until they get a chance to go. So as long as George Payton doesn't take a swing completely out of left field here, I think we have a chance to be pretty happy. But
I would like
he doesn't draft a quarterback.
Just
all the dude. We could have a line full of Joneses.
That would be Jones. I love that. I'd love that.
Jonesing with the Joneses.
The law firm of Jones, Jones and Jones.
Big time. Come on, baby. That would be great.
We are getting close.
I would much enjoy. Me likey
bouncy. And by bouncy, I mean a talented defensive line.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the word.
Is that what you meant by that?
Well, I thought it was clear, but I then clarify just in case.
You're on
Glad
record,
you did.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're now on record. Yeah. So Boggins, I know you're pretty big in the draft and do a lot. And I was gonna wait till the 3rd round, but as we're getting up to our Denver pick and he hasn't been picked yet, what do you think about Jesse Luketa, Penn State edge rusher? Do you know much about him?
Honestly, I don't know much about. I haven't looked into him that much, to be completely honest. Yeah. Let me see. Jesse Luketa.
This is a loaded question because, and this is where
I understand why Jared's asking this question. Not going to say what I was thinking. Okay, go ahead.
I coached him in Ottawa
when
he was in. Yeah. No, he was a defensive guy the whole time. Him and the Penn State quarterback, who's probably going to be the starter next year. And yeah, so the Ottawa guys, the guys coming out of Ottawa, know a lot of those guys. Jesse Luketa was probably one of the top. I mean, he's a top athlete. He's just a monster. But he had a bunch of drama when he was up there with like some racism shit, and it was really bad. But I want to see him go to the NFL. I want to see him succeed. So I'm excited for him.
Okay. I'll have to look. What class is he? 23.
I think he's a senior.
So he's draftable this year then, huh?
Yeah. He should be drafted. He was projected. He was projected second, third round.
So he's got a 6.16 grade, according to NFL.com. Let's see. Projection draft round 4. Let's see. Good team attitude. I'm sure Jared coached that into him from a young age.
Yes. Direct impact. Direct impact. Yeah.
Let's see. Good physical traits. Caught up by misdirection and eye candy. Steps slow to read and react. Keys to the middle. Okay. Pursuit speed is a bit dull.
Buffalo Bills traded with Bengals. Bengals are on the clock again. Shoot. This might be Travis Jones.
Oh man.
Yeah, 3 picks.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
See what the trade was. They probably like a 5th round or 6th round for the 3 extra.
Do they need another linebacker? They have Logan. What's his name? That'd be funny if they get Chad Moon. Okay. Cam Taylor-Britt. I liked him too, though, for Denver. But
Cam Taylor-Britt?
Yeah.
Okay. What's he? All right.
He's
tell
cornerback.
us a little bit.
Solid
I'm glad
corner.
you're watching us here, Rachel. I appreciate it.
Solid corner. Very physical.
Okay.
Very fluid.
That's good for them. Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Who did they pick up yesterday?
Who did they pick up yesterday?
Wasn't it also? Yeah. Wasn't it also a DB?
Did they? I don't remember. At the end. Oh no, didn't they get Petrie? Didn't they get a safety?
Daxton Hill. Yeah. Good for them.
The heck was that? Oh, there's an ad on this. Wow, God. That was so loud. It turned into a movie theater in my headset. Wow.
That's kind of what it's like when Rob comes on every time here. So,
yeah.
If you're ever on with him again, get used to that.
Okay, how close are we now? We're pretty close, I feel like.
We're pretty close.
We are 1, 2, 3. Oh, San Francisco next. Oh, they love their defensive linemen.
And they just lost DJ Jones. Oh, don't do this to me.
Oh yeah. Oh, they could get Perry on. I mean, I like Perry on Winfrey too. That's definitely an option. All these, there's still a ton of tackles on the board.
I mean, there's lots of players. Yeah.
Pick is in. Yep.
Watch us trade back.
Right?
Back.
I was just thinking that.
If we trade back, I'm gonna go pee.
I was like, we're already 2 hours and 15 minutes into this. If we trade back, it might be a long night. It's
It's fair. Just out of what year was it? Oh,
Rob, don't play like that with me.
I think it was I think I was watching the Seahawks one year, and they just traded back like twice, like out of the first round, and you had to wait.
Yeah.
And then they traded back again in the second round like 3 times. And you're just like, oh my gosh. We're just like sitting there with your friends, like trying to be supportive, and you're just like, oh
yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Like I've officially ate all the chips and dip.
Yeah.
I ate all the chips and dip. Like we need to get this over with.
Robert, you basically made Jared deaf when you came in.
Rachel.
Let's not play these games, Robert. We were all here. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, Rachel, you're welcome to this Broncos show whenever you want.
Absolutely.
To hang out with us.
We have nothing against the Bengals until the playoffs.
Nope.
In fact,
Right.
I was rooting for them pretty hard in that Super Bowl last year. I wanted it.
Too.
And they'll be back,
I
too.
was too.
That's the thing. They're just starting here.
It's a young team, lots of talent. Yeah.
But that, it's like, I don't know.
And that's an underdog story too. Like Cincinnati just hasn't been good in so long. It's just nice to see it. They finally got their shit together. Like really,
It's like to me, it feels. I hope it's not an anomaly because man, that ownership in Cincinnati, like just not.
I don't think it is.
They're really running a 20 years ago NFL team, or they were until very, very recently, if they're not anymore. So we'll see. Like, they definitely got a great quarterback, and like Jamar Chase was freaking genius now. Like, remember when everybody wanted them to take Penei Sewell instead?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the Baker and the Panthers thing is getting a little bit more serious,
a little more spicy.
But they want Cleveland to pick up like 18 mil of his.
That's salary. It. I mean, it's the contract. Like, if it was just the contract or just his attitude, like, I think he would have been traded by now already. But
there goes an edge to San Francisco. Drake Jackson.
Okay.
That was someone that I had definitely seen mocked multiple times to Denver, mainly in like the third
USC.
Round.
No, that's Drake London.
Yeah, very raw. Like, could potentially be like a top 3 edge in this class, but he's just not consistent.
Sure. Okay. Well, he's 21. All right. Yeah.
Well, and that's raw talent, right?
Yeah.
Well, but Seattle, San Francisco, like, just takes a chance on those guys all the time.
Which is going to be very interesting to see how he fits there, because he's pretty slender.
Yeah, he's 250. Like, he's definitely not a guy who can slide to defensive end or defensive tackle. He's
so you're going to Nick Bosa on one side and then Drake Jackson potentially on the other side, unless you do something creative with it. But
what school is he out of?
USC.
USC.
They had Drake London and Drake Jackson this year. Love that. I love that.
Yeah, I know. That was confusing to me.
The Drake London
early on watching like mock drafts and stuff like that, and I was like, Drake Jackson, top 10 pick, and it was Drake London.
Yeah, which also ended up being confusing but for different reasons.
So not only is Rachel, watching us, but she's watching us from the UK. So
love it. What time is it in the UK? It's probably it's got to be like
that's why your husband's asleep.
Yeah, 3-4 in the morning. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, her husband wanted to watch.
You got to make sure you wake him up. Now might be a good time to wake him up.
Yeah, we're only 2 picks away.
It is 1:14 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So that's yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, if you're gonna wake him up, Rachel, the pick's coming. So I don't know if it takes a few minutes for him to get up, but we're 2 picks away here.
The pick or the trade down, one or the other at this point.
You just okay.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Boggins, I just saw your last tweet and just okay. All right.
What was the tweet?
He says, "Watch the Chiefs take what I want," which. Like I get it, I understand, but don't speak that into existence. Don't tweet it.
I already have bad luck, so I just like want to say it out loud, and then maybe I'll counteract it or something.
Okay.
Right?
Maybe
I put it out into the world.
When you start playing mind games with luck like that, like you're already losing. That's my thing.
That's true. That's a good point. I'll write that down.
Well, we might be on for 10 more minutes. We might be on for another hour. We will see here shortly. Everybody who's watching, appreciate you tuning in. It's not 2:15 like it is for Rachel, so that's fantastic.
I'm going to go ahead and say just right now, whatever happens, I will not be on for another hour.
You don't think so? I want to stay on through the Broncos pick. That's what we said we would do.
We did say that.
You signed up for. You signed up for it.
Well, you say we signed up for it. I don't seem to recall putting my signature.
I have a signature from you saying that you will stay up until the first Broncos. We actually originally had a contract saying from round 1 before we traded away round 1 that we would stay up till the Broncos pick. So that's still an act.
You know what? They picked 9th overall at like an hour and 10 minutes into the proceedings last night. Like we got there is what I'm trying to say.
One fun little note. Apparently, Breece Hall revealed that the Jets tried to trade up to the first round to get him in the first place. Really? So that would have been 4 first-round picks.
That's wow. And everybody would have been singing their praises for doing that, and then they get him in the second round.
Yeah.
John, we love you. Thank you so much for coming. Turn down the TV just a little bit.
Yeah, you need to turn down the TV. You are
done
or mute it.
That's beautiful. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you guys. Thanks for fluffing everything up for me. I came in just for the pick.
Well,
I see that. We've noticed.
We know how you
all need to announce big congratulations to John here. John,
thank you.
Job. You did a lot of hard work over the last
couple weeks. The last 9 months was all you. Don't let her say anything different.
Trust me, she knows. She knows.
What do we
one more child than I have, so congratulations.
Another kid. Very cool.
Yeah, John
cool.
just had his first child.
Congratulations.
I'm surprised he's still awake.
What'd you name the sprout?
Very minimal sleep.
There you go. Has the name been picked?
Well, I mean, he's been alive for...
Well, but I mean, we don't have to reveal the name here if we don't want to, Jared.
I'll reveal.
Oh, you're right.
Reveal it on a Broncos jersey.
I love that.
Yes, I do love that. Oh man, yes.
All right, John, what are your thoughts on the Broncos pick coming up at 64 here?
Interesting to see that linebacker from Georgia, I believe, Dean, still available. Have you guys? I'm assuming you guys have been talking about
Nakobe Dean.
We have discussed Nakobe Dean.
I mean, I thought he'd be long gone by now.
At this point, I'm starting to think Chad Muma might get picked over Nakobe Dean. What do you know?
You think?
Yeah, it's
that's the Wyoming linebacker, right?
Yep. Yeah. It takes one team.
I'm good with either one.
I
also,
too.
If you guys, if I mute myself, it's because I'm taking care of things over here.
Okay, so Chiefs have selected safety Brian Cook.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
They just jump right over Jalen Petrie. That's fine.
Well, no, Jalen Petrie's gone.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
did he?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Petrie's
That's
gone.
right. Earlier today. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. Listen, good for them.
2 picks.
I'm sure they got a great player, and I couldn't care less if they got a third rotational safety.
Yeah. So that means
Bills are up with pick number 63.
63.
So either way, we could get as far as interior defensive linemen, you could either get Travis Jones or Perrion Winfrey. Cornerbacks, there are still quite a few on there. I mean, Tyreek Woolen is still there, who is just like an athletic freak, but just he's very raw, needs work. I like Martin Emerson as well. Then there is, plenty of tackles. I'm
pulling up the list of Broncos top 30 visits. Let's see. Tyler Smith, he's gone. Let's see. Nick Grant, still there. Isaiah Pacheco, running back. Probably not the way they go, but he's still there. Abraham Lucas, still available. Cordell Flott, Shermani Jones. Taekwon Thornton is wide receiver, still there. Jaquan McMillan. Cam Jurgens is gone. Let's see. Most of these guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I do think it's important to remember though, like top 30 is usually like when you meet with these guys, a lot of the time you're trying to get there's some information you're missing and you're trying to get like one final, like, especially if you didn't get a chance to talk to them at the Senior Bowl or the Combine or whatever and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's, kind of with a grain of salt, but I do think they were probably interested in Cam Jurgens, which is very, very unfortunate that he is
Cole Strange too. I think they probably did have interest in Cole Strange as well. First round pick of the Patriots.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But I think there are some guys on this list who you take with a grain of salt and say that, that's a later round pick anyway. But yeah, I think there are some prospects. Lucas is the one that kind of jumps out to me. Nick Bonetto, you've been talking about they're interested in him already.
Yeah.
We'll see, but only a couple of guys from that list currently not available.
Yep. All right, I'm going to take this time to go pee real quick, and I'll be right back.
Love it.
Crazy timing.
Do it.
John.
Yeah, Christian, we do have a couple Packers picks. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but it was Christian Watson?
They did pick a wide receiver, kind of a guy who I wasn't familiar with, but now, reading up on him, I love for them. Big guy, speedy. Everything you wanted in a Packers receiver if you were going to lose Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, but the Packers, they've been doing good with second round wide receivers over the years. So,
the Denver Broncos are on the clock.
There you go.
The Bills selected James Cook.
Okay, right?
I believe so.
So
yeah, Dalvin Cook's cousin, brother, something, relative.
Related.
All right, and God, I hope somebody's listening somewhere live.
Time.
I got the tweeters pulled up here. If the Broncos trade out of the pick, we will find out.
We'll find out soon.
We're gonna find out.
This is definitely Malik Willis, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that, and actually,
if it's not a quarterback, we're gonna go punter.
none of us would hate that. Like if it was Malik Willis is the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a lot of options here. Cook on the board for the Broncos, not Cook, Jones, Benetto, Raymond, Nakobe Dean, Chad Muma, Abraham Lucas. Lots and lots of options for the Broncos here.
Agreed, Devontae. Glad you're here. Good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely love it, Devontae. Good to see you. I am refreshing the tweeter and the tweeter.
There we go.
James Cook went to Buffalo. Yeah.
Yep.
So back-to-back Cooks.
Back-to-back Cooks.
Back.
All right.
Yep,
We're on the clock, baby.
Yep. I just keep refreshing. Don't trade out. Just please, for the love of God, just don't.
A little tired there, David?
I'm hungry too. I want to go. I would like to eat.
Why did you not eat before we started?
Because before we started, it was 4, Jared. We started at 5, so I may seem like I'm a 60-year-old man, but I generally don't like to eat at that time.
Yeah, but the way you talk, you are a 60-year-old
first source,
man.
the Broncos take Nick Benetto at number 64. And that's Mike Kliss. So I think you can put that in stone. All right.
There it is. There it is.
Okay. Well, that's George Payton's guy.
Nick Bonito.
Yep. All right. So the Broncos go edge with their 64th overall pick.
I was
Kevin,
talking about that.
You were. Let's go. Let's toss it over to Kev Dan for his analysis.
My analysis. So my gut reaction to this, though, is I don't want to say that we don't have confidence in Chubb and Gregory, but we're giving ourselves some depth there, especially with the injuries. And so, it's one of those things where I think we're giving ourselves a good out if something doesn't work out with Gregory or Chubb. So. We're just bolstering the position. I definitely think he was probably the next best guy on the board at this point. I know, Jared, you're probably upset, but I think that's kind of where we need some help there. So.
I have read exactly one draft profile now on Nick Benetto.
In the last 2 minutes,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I'm watching his junior highlight tapes.
Yeah, the pro comp from this one is Hassan Reddick, which I love if that's his ceiling. Just for the way this team is constructed right now, you've got Bradley Chubb, Hassan Reddick was a guy I wanted the Broncos to sign in free agency. So you've got Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory there. I don't know. It seems like a really good pickup to me. Not a lot of acclaim here. Everybody is a little bit subdued. Jared didn't get his inside linebacker, so I think he's
poor Jared.
No,
one of these years, Jared.
No, I'm watching his highlight tapes. This is his junior year highlight tapes from 2020. Yeah, this is last year's. It's all against shitty teams, which is unfortunate.
That's the Big 12 for you.
Big 12. I don't.
So like Tulane, Kansas State, he's doing great against Kansas State. Like 90% of his highlight tapes is one game. I'm not going to be negative. I love, he's a Bronco now, so this is great. I just interesting pick on the edge. I'm
a little surprised with inside linebackers available. What does that mean for Browning? Does that mean Browning's not truly going to the outside like they've been saying?
That's a really good point.
I think even more for the inside linebacker position.
Yeah, it feels like to me. I think and that was something we heard a lot of chatter about from a lot of different sources too. So I don't know that this does really kind of seem to throw a wrench in that plan to me, because you're not playing Nick Benetto anywhere other than edge.
Well,
right?
Yeah, but like I was saying before, I think they're going to be using Baron Browning more in the hybrid style defense, and it just really depends on the scheme. And Nick Bonito is just such a he's kind of like how we use Sosa, kind of not different position obviously, but more of a pass rush specialist, like on a third down and whatnot. That's pretty much what Nick Bonito is. So I think he has a lot to grow with as far as like his versatility, but I think we have a little bit of room to play. We have decent as rushers currently, so I think it'll be fine. I think it's he's insane. He's kind of like a Vaughn. Very, 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 very quick off the ball.
Yeah.
Speed rusher. Absolutely a speed rusher. So if he can kind of grow his game, I think it'll be a good pick. I just, I'm not like, oh my God, running to the card, whatnot.
Yep.
But I guess let's listen.
I'm sure you can hear it. Nick Bonito, official.
I love it.
There you go.
Was that Elvis Dumerville?
Yeah, it is Elvis Dumerville.
That's okay. Now it's starting to make a little more sense as to why they got him for that pick too.
Poor Elvis.
Yeah, this is on purpose, of course.
Yeah.
And his name's Elvis, and they're in Las Vegas.
True. Oh man, boy,
it's all adding up.
Comes together. Very classy by the Broncos, of course.
Now, Nick Bonito, I believe is how you pronounce it, not Bonetto. So that apologies to him, Nick, if you're listening, which I'm sure
he's
you
definitely
are.
listening.
Now.
Yeah. He doesn't have much listening right now.
But he's 6'3", 248, runs a 4.54. So you definitely, like you said, the speed rusher traits are there, 100%. If you want him to hang in there as a full-time outside linebacker, he's got to gain some weight to play the run, it seems to me. But
he's super fluid, super agile. His just main problems is when he runs into like a big tackle, and you run into those in the NFL. So
you will. That's true.
But who knows? Maybe he'll pop, and that'd be great. Would love it. Be very excited.
This is one of those, it's going to be a George Payton signature pick. It's his kind of, he picked his head coach. Now he's picking his players. We'll see what kind of drafter he really is with this kind of pick.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Do you get the sense that they're going with best what they feel on their board is the best available as opposed to
at that point.
need?
I do.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's confirmed, at least, you take mock drafts and pre-draft profiles for what they are, but at least from what I'm reading on Nick Bonito, this was, mid-second to early third round was really his range. This was an appropriate place to be drafting.
It wasn't a stretch or anything like that. I think it's somebody who could, give them a year or so to develop before you really start seeing a lot out of them.
And, arguably the best edge prospect left on the board right now.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
So, I think, when you're looking at the tight end conversation, I think that definitely solidifies that they're thinking is Albert O being the guy more than likely, I think, at this point, to be at least a starter.
And we're talking about two drafts here, so it's a little early to be talking about a pattern forming, but it is worth noting at the very least that George Payton's first two, number one overall picks in his first two drafts have been at the premier positions on defense, cornerback and edge.
That's fair.
To say nothing of the fact that he was willing to give up significant capital to go get another premier position this offseason in the quarterback. So
what you're telling me, David, is that you want to take premier positions higher in the draft?
But that's
a weird take there.
So I guess what I'm saying is, that positional value is something that some teams put more emphasis on than others. Is all I'm trying to say. I think you can say at least George Payton is putting pretty high importance on those positions.
I wanted that guy. What's his name? Stout, the punter, kicker, linebacker.
So you're a Kevin draft. The Kevin Dandino special is what I like.
You know what? If it works, great. It could work.
All right. So this Nick Bonito situation. Love the fact he's a Bronco. I'm gonna support him no matter what.
Here goes Jared's rant. Let's go.
I love the fact he's a Bronco, but
he's very. We talk about one-dimensional players. I thought he's a very one-dimensional player. I don't think he's going to be useful in special teams. I don't think he's going to be in any. I think he's maybe right off the bat, maybe third and long type of guy you put in on the outside. And if we stick to the 3-4 concept, I know. And we talked about this whole podcast. 2.5 hours later. We've been talking about what do we need? What do we need as a first game? Do we need a starter? No. I just don't know how much he's going to fit into our system on the outside other than injury backup. Throw him in on a couple third and longs on the outside linebacker when he's going to be rushing the quarterback. He doesn't have a lot of field coverage play. He doesn't have a lot of run stop right ability. He's definitely just a kind of a one-dimensional outside linebacker.
So, Jared, if you were to grade this, are you thinking F, or is there something below F that you would give this?
No, I'm not saying that.
He's a Bronco,
so first of all,
but here's all the things that I hate about
Kev, I didn't. John said I was going to go on a rant. I wasn't planning on, but I am now. The grading fucking draft picks. Grading draft picks the day after or before you get to see how it goes. You should not grade a draft until 2 to 3 years after the draft. That is the first time you should say, oh, I grade this draft an A, because no one fucking knows. No one knows.
Based off of your thing.
Yeah, but Jared, how are you supposed to get clickbait out there if you're waiting 2 years?
Well, you could just be James Marilat and propose trading Javonte Williams.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's just trade our top.
Are you kidding me? I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, no. The guy. Listen, and this is my rant for the evening. When you see him post things like that, people don't retweet it and say, look at the guy, what he's doing this time, because that just gets the man paid. That's all that happens. Right. He gets paid by engagements, and a retweet is an engagement, and it doesn't matter if you're saying this guy's a clown. It just gives him more incentive to do it.
That's why you don't retweet it. You just snapshot the craziness that he says.
I saw you. You did that. Boggins did it the right way. There you go. But yeah, don't retweet. Don't crowd up my mentions with that kind of stuff either. Just good Lord. Anyway, I think we can wind it down safely for the evening, fellas. The Broncos do have third-round picks coming up later this evening.
Yes.
We will have some analysis post-draft of all the picks that we didn't talk about tonight. So please stay tuned for that. Thank you so much.
Make sure you're following both Mr. Boggins and Orange Weekly here on Twitter to get your up-to-date information and analysis on what's going on with these drafts.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw a plug towards Mile High Roundtable, too, because they really do good work.
Absolutely.
So everybody over there really knows their stuff and does great work. There you go.
Yeah, you guys
but yeah, so yeah, thanks so much for everybody who stayed through 2 hours and 30 minutes plus. Thanks so much, Mr. Boggins, for joining us for a good portion of that.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, John, for vulturing in at the end and coming in looking like the hero. Love that.
The big daddy.
That's what I'm here for, guys.
Absolutely. Vulture. All right. So, any other thoughts before we close it out, fellas?
No, don't forget about the May 12th schedule release show. We'll be doing that Thursday night live at 7 p.m. Mountain Time as we break down the schedule that comes out that day. But
Tracy with some more stars for us. Thanks a lot, Tracy.
Tracy, you're
the real star.
Yeah, Tracy's the hero here.
Absolutely.
We do this for you all, so definitely appreciate it. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to head out, but go Broncos. I think the guy's going to do a whole lot better than Jared kind of makes it sound like he's going to do. And
Jared's rating is Jared's grade.
I just know Jared hated this guy so much.
I give Jared a C- right now. That's what Jared a C-. Yeah.
Jared's definitely C- right now.
No, he took the hat off. He took the hat off. C+.
C+.
All right. Good to know.
We all have our preferences, Jared. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Martin Emerson. Dang it.
Let's end it like we always do, gents, on a very strong
Go
Broncos.
Take care, everyone.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in